Let's get nasty on a Friday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. 2 o'clock, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Jamie will be back with us on Monday. I'm sure he's pumped as Team Canada wound up posting a victory today. We're also, of course, waiting within the next 10 minutes as the USA men's hockey team looks to do what, almost what the women's did yesterday. Women's, of course, won gold. USA could punch their ticket into the title game with a win over Slovakia. So 2-10, the puck will drop between Slovakia and the United States. Of course, Jordan Binnington has been a big part or big reason why Team Canada continues to win. Do you guys think that Jordan Binnington's trade value has gone up in the Olympics?
That's interesting because I think people know who Jordan Binnington is, right? I don't know if it went up or if it stayed the same or if he's considered more valuable or just as valuable as he's been. He's playing with a lot of great players. I'm sure that makes life a little bit easier as a goaltender to have, great players in front of you. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know. Because I think if I'm a GM, I would probably take that into consideration as well. We're not going to have a team full of potential gold medal winners in front of you, Jordan. Are you going to be able to do what you did just then? Are you going to be able to rise to the occasion? Are you only interested when it's a big game or big time moments? Because we know you play your ass off in those moments, but the mundane part of the season and maybe the second half of the season is kind of those most important moments. So I don't know if it makes your trade value go up, but it can't hurt your case at all. If you're playing well and you've kind of struggled throughout this entire season on your regular team, and then you make it to the Olympics on the biggest stage and you start playing your butt off, I don't think it can hurt you at all. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't know if it helps you in terms of people saying, yeah, that's the guy we want to trade for now versus, a month ago.
I do wonder, though, if general managers and presidents of hockey operations around the league do get a little emotional when they're watching certain things.
What?
No,
Anthony.
Trade deadline's March 6th. If you have a team that is competitive, but you need a starting goaltender, you need to upgrade at the goaltender position in order to make a deep run in the postseason, you might say to yourself, you owe it to the fans. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to the players to make a move to put yourself over the top. So I do wonder if a GM who's been watching the Olympics, and we'll see what happens here is, if Team Canada does win gold and how Jordan Binnington performs in that game, whether or not a GM says, look, I'm gonna make a move here. The question on the other side is whether or not the Blues would be satisfied with the return.
I don't think they would, because from what I've seen the goalie market be right now and how valuable he is to your team, despite the Blues not playing well at all, I still think that he has a ton of value for the Blues. I don't know if Doug Armstrong would be willing to part ways for something that he would deem to be a lesser offer. So, let's say Team Canada wins gold, right? That would be 2 years in a row where Jordan Binnington has been in between the pipes for them, not only winning the gold medal game, but also winning the Four Nations. Mm-hmm. I think, and Carey, you kind of talked about it a couple minutes ago, I think people know who he is. Yeah. I don't know if anything really changes. Today, he only saw 17 shots. Mm-hmm. Right? He stopped 15 of them. He stopped through his 4 games. He stopped 74 of 81 shots. He's not getting a ton of looks by any means throughout this tournament. I think people sort of know who he is. And if they're willing to overpay to get him, well, then you think about it.
And of course, it also depends on how desperate the other team is. Like Pittsburgh, for example. The Penguins, through 56 games, they're at 70 points. They're 8 points back of the Hurricanes in the Metro Division, and they are, 2 points behind the Habs and the Red Wings in terms of the Eastern Conference as a whole. Jamie. Their goaltending situation could definitely be upgraded. They have I believe Skinner right now, who's drawing the majority of their starts. He ain't great.
He has gone to 2 Stanley Cups in a row.
He has, but I wonder if a team like Pittsburgh looks at the situation and says, "Well, we've got a solid team. They were playing really well heading into the Olympic break too. They're 7-1-2. Maybe NHL. Maybe Pittsburgh looks at Binnington and says, okay, maybe we can upgrade." Outside of that, though, if you're looking at the teams that absolutely could use a goaltender, Marsh, I'm sure you would know a couple more maybe off the top of your head. The other teams that need a goalie just aren't competitive. If you look at, I don't know, like the Devils, for example, the Devils could certainly use an upgrade. They suck, though. They ain't going anywhere. They ain't going to make that move. Doesn't make sense for them to make a move based on next year either. So is there another team, Marsh, that you're looking at that says maybe because they haven't made a playoff run in a while, or it's a last gasp type of thing because they got a veteran, i.e. an older roster, that they could be potential buyers for somebody like Jordan Binnington?
I don't know. I feel like trading for a goaltender at the deadline is a risk. We've seen it here in St. Louis when the Blues traded for Ryan Miller.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out well. So, if you feel desperate enough to do so, then go do it. But I wonder if GMs look at it and they're like, well, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot where we're at. We don't really want to give up too many assets, maybe what the Blues are looking for, yes, a guy that plays well in the playoffs, but he's having a down year. Who's to say he does play well in the playoffs? We don't know, right? Maybe that's behind him. We're seeing him play well in the Olympics right now, but who knows, right? Who really knows? I think we as St. Louis fans know the true value of Jordan Binnington. We'll see if other GMs around the league do so as well. If they want to take that risk and offer more than maybe what he's worth at the current market, then I think you seriously have to consider dealing him.
Go ahead.
No, that's the end of what I was going to say.
So his contract situation as of right now, he's got a $6 million cap hit for this season. This is his age 32 season. He's got a $6 million cap hit in his age 33 season. Not a big cap hit in either year. He becomes an unrestricted free agent after next season. So perhaps would it make more sense for the Blues in the offseason to revisit this situation? And even then, are you getting more value? And this is the big question. Are you getting more value in return than you would be if you just keep him and you continue to use both him and Hofer?
For me, I think I think the sense of urgency at the trade deadline, because teams are as close as they are going to be. They're not going to be that close to start the following year, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, where you are right now. You know how close you are to potentially making it to the playoffs or having that final player added that can give you that push throughout the playoffs. Whereas going into next year, you're like, okay, yeah, we think we have a good team. We don't know. But I think that the sense of urgency that you have at the trade deadline tends to kind of spur more action, in my opinion. If I'm a team, like you said, the Oilers are a team that has been to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row and have lost both of those years. And if you feel like Jordan Binnington is an upgrade, okay, well, cool. What you got for me? But we're not. I need something in return that is going to help me in the future.
Yep.
I don't see just trading him away because it's going to benefit you, but you're the one that needs him. So that means you're the one that has to give me something that I deem, of equal value or greater value for this player that is going to help you. Remember, you right now potentially win a Stanley Cup.
Right.
That's the most important thing. If that's the most important thing on your list right now and he's the most important piece to that, all right, show me how important it is.
Sure.
If not, then let's stop talking.
Yeah.
But going into the following season, yeah, the Oilers might feel like they're a Stanley Cup champion, but they're not as close as they would be right now, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a team that squanders in the playoffs this year, and then you look at it and you're like, man, there's been 2 seasons in a row where Jordan Binnington's name has been floated out there. Actually, it's probably been more seasons than that. But let's just say the last 2 years that his name has been floated out there, and maybe we could have made a run at him, but we decided, nah, we're fine with what we have, and then ultimately we end up losing.
Sure.
While this guy potentially wins 2 major tournaments back-to-back seasons, and he played really well in the playoffs last year. It's just unfortunate that the Blues ended up losing in Game 7. Who knows what happens for the Blues heading into the second round, and then maybe they win that one, and then you just never know, right?
Sure.
Based on how he was playing. So maybe there is a desperate team out there. I'm not so sure. But if I'm the Blues, I don't really know what I have in the system in terms of goaltending outside of Joel Hofer. So does it really make sense to move on from him?
Yeah, that's true, too. Yeah, that's a good question. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. If you missed any of the coverage from TMA all this week, you can download their podcast, check out some of the interviews that they did throughout the course of the week. So, again, if you didn't have an opportunity to catch them live, get caught up on all the interviews they've done. Posted now at 101ESPN.com. They've been in Jupiter, Florida this week covering the Cardinals. TMA live from spring training. All this week was brought to you by Healthcare Evolution. Speaking of the Cardinals, Oli Marmol, how much, if any, pressure does he face this season? I know a lot of Cardinals fans would say, well, he should be facing a lot of pressure. But realistically, how does the front office view Oli Marmol's situation? That's next on 101 ESPN.
All right, your Friday nights just got a little louder because NBA Happy Hour is live on FanDuel every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. FanDuel's running limited time specials to pregame your weekend. We're talking about boosts, bonuses, surprises, all dropping right on the app. If it's Friday night, like tonight, you can get done with work, sit down, and get to the app and pick your favorite game for the night. Whichever teams you like, whichever players you like, pick it. You'll get boosts, you'll get bonuses, and you'll be happy all weekend. It's the perfect way to kick off your weekend. A little basketball, a little action, and a whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Must be 21 plus and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonuses and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Appreciate everybody being tuned in on a Friday. I know a lot of people have felt that Oli Marmol's job should have been in jeopardy long ago. But how much pressure is he under, if any, going into the season? And this isn't designed to tick you off as a listener if you feel as though that we're somehow suggesting that there shouldn't be any pressure for a manager of one of the limited Major League Baseball squads that are out there. But I think it's also important to kind of look at the situation from the Cardinals' standpoint. How does the front office view Oli Marmol's situation? And there was an article done by The Athletic which polled several executives, so MLB teams, managers, front office, that'll be feeling the heat. Insiders weigh in. And if you're thinking about where Oli ranks in terms of being under pressure, managers who were specifically mentioned, Oli Marmol got 1 vote. Kurt Suzuki of the Angels received 5. Tony Vitello of the Giants, the new manager there, received 2. Carlos Mendoza of the Mets received 2. And then Rob Thompson of the Phillies, Aaron Boone of the Yankees, Oliver Marmol from the Cardinals received 1. So what do you guys, how do you feel as though that the front office for the Cardinals views this?
How many people were polled in this how many people were chosen to vote? Like how many voters did they have?
I don't know. It just said
how many people.
So Jason Stark, MLB teams, manager, front office, that'll be feeling the heat. Insiders weigh in.
Oh, okay. I just wondering because I don't think there should be any pressure. You got a team that is full of young players, some getting their first opportunity to be everyday players. I just gave you the stat yesterday. I think it was 2 players over the age of 30 on the 40-man roster. 2, Anthony. That's a young-ass team.
Yep.
And so I don't know that there's a lot of pressure in terms of pressure to do what? Pressure to not lose 100 games, pressure to win 100 games. Where would the pressure come from? Because I don't think that the expectations outside of the Cardinals organization is very high. I told you that players and coaches and front office members, we're delusional. We're crazy as hell. The Cardinals believe that they can win a World Series this year. I'm telling you that that's what they believe.
Right.
And they should. Like, you're the ones putting in the work. We don't know how much work they're putting in. We don't know how well it's meshing and gelling. They should are what they've done the past couple of years. So I don't know that I don't know why there would be pressure on Oli Marmol. I mean, I understand people being frustrated. Oh, he needs to be fired. To do for who? For what? Where are you turning? What coach, what manager, what person is going to lead this group of men to a championship this year? Because if you're firing him, that's, in my opinion, what you're saying. Well, we didn't play well enough. Man, that's the manager's fault, or is it because you got players that ain't played?
Right.
Like I don't think fans are rational. Let's start there. At all. I think fans are irrational. I think our expectations for our favorite team, whichever your favorite team is, are irrational as hell. It's always. There are some fan bases that get it. They're like, yeah, you know what? I'm just happy to be here. And then there's some fan bases that believe that they should win a championship every year, even though they ain't never won one. I don't know. So I think that we are, as fans, irrational in our expectations of what the Cardinals should be, or what we think they should be, or what we think Oli Marmol's job is for this season. I personally don't think there's any pressure on him other than the pressure that I want to succeed and I want our team to play hard every single night. Now, if they're not playing hard, if they're not working hard, if you're getting your butt kicked, that's fine. But if you're not working hard, then that's not okay. So to me, there's no pressure.
So in this article, there were 36 executives that were polled, and the teams, front offices, and managers under pressure. The Cardinals did receive 1 vote, and then Oli Marmol was specifically mentioned. So there's that 1 right there. For me, though, I think that there is slight pressure, one coming from the fan base, for not only Oli Marmol, but this front office in general, to show us something, right? Give us some semblance of hope that the players that they're riding with in 2026 essentially show promise that we can eventually get out of this build, rebuild, whatever you want to call it. So I think there is pressure for not only Oli Marmol, but the coaching staff as a whole, Jamie, to get these players going in the right direction. If they sort of take a step back, yes, that is on the players itself, but you want your manager to ultimately get the most out of your players in some way or shape or form. So I think there is pressure on Oli Marmol in a sense, even though the team isn't supposed to be good. He is a big league manager.
How are you managing it? Or how are you measuring that? It's a fair comment. How are you measuring it, though? Because from my perspective, because you mentioned the fans, right?
Right.
And I had said this a couple of weeks ago. If you're not going to judge based on wins and losses in a sport where you have records and standings, then what are you going to grade on? And for those same fans that are frustrated, that want Oli gone, that are probably not going to be tuned in the second half when the team's not playing well, how are you going to measure Oli Marmol's success then? Because it's very unlikely to come from wins and losses.
I think for me, it's like situational things that he can ultimately dictate. I think that's for me.
Like what though? Like when you say, I'm not picking at you, because,
right.
But I'm asking because I think that thought process is like most fans. Like we expect something, but I don't know what we expect. Like for me, I would want to know what those expectations are to gauge whether or not those expectations can actually even be met. Because the expectations that people have might not even be something that you can actually put. You can't put a finger on it.
You can't measure it.
You can't measure it
outside of wins and losses.
Correct. So when you say like it just where they are or getting the most out of the players, what does that look like or what does that mean? Because to me, getting the most out of the players means they're having success.
Right.
But if they're not having success, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not coaching them well. That just means that maybe they're not doing well enough themselves. So again, back to Anthony's question, how do you measure it? And again, I'm not poking at you personally.
I completely understand.
I'm asking because I want to know, because I think that this is the sentiment of a lot of fans, what they say, but I don't think that they know what that actually means or can't explain it. So I'm trying to figure out for myself.
I just think that there should be pressure on him. I feel like from what we've heard from him, that is almost like a driving force for him. Yeah, like I welcome the pressure. We have Yadier Molina in the building. That in itself is pressure, right? Because of all the outside noise and the thought process that Yadier Molina will eventually be the next manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. That right there is pressure. I think Oli Marmol will thrive under that. I really do. I think you should have pressure to make you a better manager, to make you a better player, to make you a better executive. You should have pressure. Otherwise, what's the point? Are you just going to be complacent because these guys really aren't that good? We're just going to roll them out there and see what happens.
Right. Well, if he is complacent in any regard, then he's going to go.
Correct.
And I don't get that sense from Oli.
I don't either.
If that is the concern from some Cardinals fans, like, well, if he's not under pressure, he doesn't have to worry about his job, then he'll be complacent. Then if you recognize that and you're the front office of the Cardinals, then he's going to go now.
So when I hear has pressure, I assume that to mean you can lose your job if you don't do this. And that I don't agree with. I think that there's a pressure that he places on himself to be good, to manage, to make the right decisions, to call for the right pitcher in the right situation, to bring up the right pinch hitter in the right situation, to decide, when to have a hit and run on, or all of these minor decisions that happen throughout an entire game. But I don't think that there's pressure from the organization to say, if you don't win 75 games, you're done. That I don't believe. But I think fans believe that should be the pressure that he's under. You have to win X number of games, and I just don't agree with that. Not this year, not this team, not right now.
Again, I just go back to, I'm not even looking at it from a win-loss standpoint. I'm looking at it from, okay, am I seeing something out of these players? Can they give me hope? Is Oli Marmol the guy that can ultimately lead this team when they are reaching that potential? I think that's some of the questions that fans have, and that's a question that I have as well. I think he's a good manager, despite what other people say. I don't think he's been given a good roster, but that doesn't mean there's no pressure to get the most out of your players.
I agree with that.
Because I don't know if we have gotten the most out of the players, including the ones that won an MVP, that were a Gold Glove third baseman. You know that.
Who do you put that on though? Because I put that on I really put that on the front office.
That's fair
for kicking up their heels and saying we done a great job when the roster was still largely incomplete. Mm-hmm. I think the word that keeps coming to my mind when you're talking is competitiveness, and competitiveness can be judged in different ways. If you know, and this could be judged at any walk of life too, right? Like if CD or one of my kids plays on a youth team, and in the first game it's ugly, right? The players don't look like they know what they're doing. They lose, depending on what the game is, they lose 9-0. It's like, oh boy. But by the end of the year, they're in every game, win or lose. Okay, there's obvious growth there. So the word again that I keep coming back to is competitiveness in my own head. Are you competitive? Mm-hmm. Are you getting the most out of your players? Are you losing games, clean games, strong defense, all that, but you just happen to lose 3-2 because you don't have the horses yet? Then that would be an indication to me that Oli and his coaching staff is doing a good job.
So how I'm understanding it is control what you can control. So subjective is they don't play hard enough. That's your opinion.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They're not playing hard enough. They get rid of them. Man, they had 4 errors today. Mm-hmm. That's not good. Now that's being objective and actually saying what you're seeing. So I think sometimes people are very subjective in their opinion about what's good enough or what they deem good enough, instead of saying, hey, man, they you can't throw the ball in the stands, you can't throw the ball in the dugout, you can't hit batters, you can't walk guys. Like, those are things, in my opinion, that if you continue to see that's when you start to say, okay, this team isn't performing well enough. Because as our great friend Coach Venturi always said, you're either coaching it or you're allowing it. Mm-hmm. So if you're allowing guys to continue to make errors and they're still playing, and maybe you don't have any other options, which is a roster construction issue, but if you have those issues and you're not moving on or going in a different direction or correcting it, then I think you can say, okay, that's not good enough. But just to be like, well, I just don't think they played hard tonight. Mm-hmm. That's an opinion.
Right.
We don't know.
I think for me, to simplify it, if the Cardinals are going to lose baseball games, I want the other team to beat them. I don't want them to beat themselves.
Mm-hmm. Fair. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. There was one assistant coach that used the media, not directly in terms of like calling a player out, but indirectly used the media for calling a player out. We'll tell you who that player is because it's one of the stars in the National Football League. And we'll also have the discussion whether or not it's a good idea to use the media if you're a coach. It's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Team Canada defeated Finland earlier today. They will move on to the gold medal game that would be played on Sunday. 3-2 the final. Finland was up 2-0, and then 3 unanswered goals from Canada. Nathan McKinnon with a late third period goal to seal the deal for Team Canada. Jordan Binnington in between the pipes for the Canadians. He stopped 15 of 17, and now they will wait the winner of the United States and Slovakia, which is taking place right now. And we're not going to give you those updates. We haven't all week, but we will talk with Jeremy Rutherford. We'll talk some Blues hockey and some Olympic hockey at 3 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Carey, I know some comments by new Ravens offensive coordinator Declan Doyle stood out to you, and you felt as though that maybe he was speaking to a specific player when he made some press conference comments.
Yeah, he mentioned that we would expect players to be here. And what is he speaking of? He's talking about the game, right, Anthony?
No.
He's talking about training camp.
Talking about practice.
Talking about OTAs, which is off-season training activities for NFL teams, which is also, Anthony, voluntary, which means I can come if I want to, but I don't have to because it's not mandatory. Mm-hmm. And so he's speaking, in my opinion, when I heard this comment, I was like, I gasped. What are you doing? Why would you say that? Mm-hmm. Because in my opinion, he's talking to one player specifically, and that player is your quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Now, before we get into the whole financial structure and what matters and what doesn't matter, he's a new OC. It's a new offense. You should want to be there to learn it. But again, it's not mandatory. It is voluntary. And generally speaking, a lot of the players who have, long-term deals with a lot of money attached to it don't generally show up. They do show up for mini camps, which are mandatory, and they do show up for training camp, which is mandatory, and obviously practice and all of those things. The thing about our job is you start practice, mini camps start, I think, in April, and you have all of these different camps all the way up until July, and then the season starts. But when we get to the season, you don't get any days off. You can't call in and say, hey, I don't feel well today, I'm going to take a day. You don't get those. So I want to make sure that that's out there. Now, with that being said, Lamar Jackson, in his time since he signed his new contract, has forfeited over $1.5 million in participating in those voluntary workouts, $750,000 a year since 2024, which tells you, I ain't coming. Mm-hmm. He's making a lot of money, which you can afford, obviously. He hasn't made the number of practices in those voluntary practices to show up. The reason I had an issue with this is because this could have been a text message, man. This could have been an email. You know how they say when people have meetings, man, that could have been an email. We didn't have to meet. Mm-hmm. You didn't have to go through the media to tell your star quarterback, hey, man, we're installing something. It'd be really good for you to be here. The way that you handle players and talk to men and have those conversations, this, in my opinion, is not the way to go about it. I don't have a problem with what he said. I have a problem with who he said it to. And I've told you before that coaches, offensive coaches, head coaches, tend to talk to certain players through other players sometimes. You might cuss out the third receiver, the first string receiver through the third receiver. Mm-hmm. Or you might want to get to your quarterback through the media and say, hey, but I don't think that this is the way to go about it. I think the conversation is man-to-man. We talk, and then we go on, and we don't have to have any conversations with the media about what we're doing for OTAs or mini camps or training camp. None of that. We want people here. I already talked to Lamar. We had a conversation. Will he be here? We had a conversation. Mm-hmm. We'll see. And that's it. But I don't think you use the media to get to your star quarterback. And that's not, in my opinion, that's not a great first impression.
Okay, so you led me into this question because I was thinking it as you were talking. Does it matter? Does this matter more because it's Declan Doyle who is who's right now a nobody in the NFL? Not to discredit him, but for example, if this was somebody that was more established,
if it were I don't know, Bill Parcells,
Andy Reid,
George C, Bill Walsh.
So if he did it, you're cool. And I'm not. By the way, you're not.
Maybe
I'm not making you out to be a hypocrite. I just mean.
But
it doesn't matter.
I do think the messenger matters. Don't shoot the messenger. Mm-hmm. Well, you brought the damn message, didn't you?
Sure.
Why not? If you knew it was a bad message, you should have kept it to yourself.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think that he should have went about it this way. And I'll say, like, there are coaches. It's different in the NFL, man. Like, my first experience in the NFL, I was sitting there in training camp. And I watched the starting offensive lineman throw his helmet to the offensive line coach and say, "Fast lane, you go do it. I'm going to sit here. I ain't doing nothing." Because of how he was speaking to this man. Mm-hmm. I've watched James Harrison tell our special teams coach, who first year there, he tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, man, we don't do all that cussing people out here. Stop." Because he was energetic, cussing. Fast lane, do that. He tapped him. He said, "Hey, man, you should stop doing that. You should stop cussing at people." Mm-hmm. Now, the next day, the special teams coach didn't cuss at nobody.
Yeah.
There's a level of respect in how you go about your business at that level, in my opinion. And it's not college, and even college has shifted because of NIL. But when I'm looking at this, I don't think you talk to your star players through the media. I think those are conversations that you have with them, and nobody else needs to know about it. Mm-hmm. And you can get your message across, and maybe Lamar can tell you, "Man, I don't really, that's not my thing." Yeah, but it would be good for the team. Our goal, we want to win the championship. We need you here. And then if he don't want to come because it's voluntary, you say, okay, that's the end of the conversation. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be there. It's not mandatory. It's not. The CBA is not going to force him to be there because you, Declan Doyle, want him there. So, yeah, I think that this would be a better conversation one-on-one as opposed to through the media.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I do think
you don't like it, though.
No.
You hate it?
No.
You hate my thoughts on it?
I don't hate your thoughts on it. I do think at the professional level, what you laid out makes sense. I know that Nick Saban, for example, when he was in college, not at the Dolphins, because the Dolphins, he kind of got the rude awakening himself.
Got his ass ran up out of there.
Yeah. He was like, you know what, this isn't for me. But I do know that when he, for example, he'll berate the media that ask him about how great his depth is at running back. He'll berate one of the media members, and it has nothing to do with the question, the legitimacy of the question, or the media member himself. Mm-hmm. It has everything to do with him having to go and sit in a house of a future Alabama running back, and that running back looking at him and say, "Well, you just praised your depth. Why should I go to you?"
Yeah.
So he'll use the media to speak to future prospects and things like that. Bill Walsh used to always hammer his assistant coaches. Why? Because he knew the players would not want to disappoint those assistant coaches. So if he had a strong message for Joe Montana, he would hammer the quarterback coach. And Joe Montana in return be like, "Hey, I have a pretty good relationship with my quarterback coach," or the running back would have a good relationship with his position coach. And they wouldn't want to disappoint or get that position coach screamed at.
Right.
So that's how Bill Walsh used to do it. For Declan Doyle, I see your point. I do. I see your point. You want to make sure that you have that conversation. And we don't know if he did or not.
I don't know.
Maybe he did.
Maybe.
But have that conversation with a professional and treat him as such.
If you had that conversation with him, I don't think you needed to go through the media to kind of reiterate that same message.
Yeah.
So that would lead me to believe that you didn't talk to him and you hadn't had a conversation with him.
Don't you think he could just be setting the standard, though? Like, let's say this is not about specifically Lamar Jackson. So Declan Doyle comes in. He is a new face to the organization. They want to get the offense right. If Lamar Jackson shows up, but some other player on offense doesn't show up, well, then Lamar Jackson's like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm the leader of this group. Mm-hmm. I'm here. Why is nobody else here?
Yeah.
But Declan Doyle, right here in February, laid it out. I expect everyone to be there.
Sure. Well, you can do that. You certainly can. If Lamar turns around and says, now it's voluntary, like CD's saying, then players are looking at you like, okay, well, you're going to hold him accountable or not. It's a slippery slope. I'm not saying you're wrong in that. I agree. If you're brand new, if you're a new head coach, you're a new OC, you're a new DC, setting proper expectations is vital.
Well, and also if the team slips early in the season because their offense isn't clicking, could you look back at that moment when maybe everybody didn't show up and say, hey, maybe if they had that extra time,
sure, you could have been better.
They could have been better. So I don't know.
Well, this would be interesting to follow. It might be nothing. It might be much ado about nothing. There is a similar situation going on, and it's not with a coach, but it's in baseball, and it's with the president of baseball operations, Dave Dombrowski, in Philadelphia. And when you brought this up to us in the office, CD, I thought this was an interesting parallel. So last year, Dave Dombrowski had like a public challenge of Bryce Harper. And Harper's repeated comments about it throughout the offseason make things kind of tense for the Phillies entering the 2026 season. So after the postseason loss to the Dodgers, Dombrowski said Harper, quote, didn't have an elite season like he has had in the past. He went further. Can he rise to the next level again? I don't really know that answer. Harper posted a photo in December wearing a T-shirt that read, quote, not elite, despite Dombrowski a month earlier saying that he and the two-time MVP had cleared the air. Then, when asked about the same comments in camp earlier this week, Harper doubled down. For Dave to say that, he said, it's kind of wild. So this goes to your point. If you're gonna call out either outwardly and directly like Dombrowski did, or through the media like Declan Doyle did, if you're gonna do that with a star player, you better be right that it goes that it goes the way you want to. For Bryce Harper, maybe for him being the competitor like he is, he wants to shove it where the sun don't shine. And I'm sure Dave Dombrowski would be just fine with that if he winds up performing well.
Yeah.
With this, it could also go sideways. If you're not going to hold them accountable, and how can you? Because it's a voluntary minicamp. Boy, you're opening Pandora's box now.
Yeah, I probably would have went a different direction. And again, we got to text you. You don't know that he's talking directly to Lamar. He might not be, but he ain't talking to Rashad Bateman.
Right.
He ain't talking to any other Ronnie Stanley. Maybe he is, but he's also talking to the player that ain't been to voluntary minicamp in the last 2 years.
Sure.
I would assume.
We'll see.
But, 618, you probably know more than me. So.
Well, they're just throwing stuff out there. Who knows?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe this is the thing with these situations. We have no idea. Maybe Lamar Jackson texted him and was like, hey, I'm going to be here. Can you throw it out there that we want everybody to be there? Yeah. Or is that something that maybe he needs to do himself? We really don't know. But I tend to lean it's probably what CD brought up.
Yeah, I agree. All right, this Fast on 101 ESPN. That's Marsh. He's got what's trending for you next.
topics in the sports world.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Here's what's trending.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it is time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, the SLU Billikens, we know that they suffered a tough loss against Rhode Island earlier this week. They got a big game against VCU coming up, and based on the conversations that we have had, do you believe that this is a must-win game for the Billikens? In the ESPN bracketology, they have slipped to an 8 seed, and they take on a VCU team that has won 10 games in a row. They are the second best team in the A10, right behind SLU. So for you guys, is tonight a must-win?
It's hard to say that tonight is a must-win when if you win the A10 tournament, you're in. But I understand kind of the nature of the question. Really, what we're asking is, would you feel a hell of a lot better about the loss to Rhode Island if you were to beat VCU tonight? That to me is the question. Is it a must-win? No, you win the A10 tournament, you can get into the NCAA tournament. However, if you lose 2 in a row, now all of a sudden we're starting to have more questions about a SLU team that we had zero questions about outside of the competition question. Heading into that Rhode Island loss,
I don't know if it's you can't lose. Can't get fooled again. Yeah, you can't lose. So I guess that would make it a must-win. Ish.
But technically
you can lose.
Yes,
because you can still win the A10 tournament.
Exactly.
So no, it's not a must-win. It's a must-win when you get to the A10 tournament. If you are not going to be, if you're going to be get in because you got the A10 bid,
sure,
not in that large. So,
but if you want to improve your seeding or make sure that you give yourself the best opportunity to have the highest seed possible, given your record, given your standing after the A10 tournament, then yes, tonight's a must-win. So it depends on how you look at it.
Well, latest bracketology, like I said, ESPN's bracketology, 8 seed puts them in the same, region as Michigan.
Mm-hmm. What region? Is that the Midwest or which one would they be in?
Either way.
I would assume that Michigan would be Midwest region.
Right.
That way they can go St. Louis. I'm hoping Illinois is in that Midwest region too. I do want them to be a 1 seed, but if they have to be a 2, yeah, you can be a 2 in the Midwest. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it would be Midwest. So this is what ESPN's bracketology looks like. Michigan, number 1 seed. The 16 versus 16 play-in game, UMBC and SEMO. And then it has SLU taking on SMU. So this is just ESPN's latest bracketology.
Oh,
that would be in
awesome.
the Midwest region. It looks like where they have them playing would be Philadelphia.
Oh, no. That stinks. I thought they were going to be here.
St. Louis would have Wisconsin, Georgia, Iowa State, ETSU. Again, this is just bracketology for ESPN.
A lot could change.
Yeah, other platforms make their own stuff. So,
but again, I think what we're really asking is if SLU were to lose tonight to VCU, even though the VCU's 21-6 and 12-2 in the A10, SLU being a 7.5 point favorite, take that for what you want. A SLU team that has been virtually unbeatable at home for several years. If they were to lose to VCU, you got back-to-back losses. How are you feeling now suddenly about SLU when you felt great about them throughout the college basketball season?
Yeah, Edmund's text ringtone says, just rephrase it to, is it a must-win for an at-large bid?
Yes. Because, yes. You can't afford it anymore. Can't keep losing.
Can't get fooled again.
Can't afford to lose. If you're not going to win the A10 tournament, yeah. Because people will start looking at the conference that you play in. They'll start feeling like, maybe they ain't.
Right.
Maybe they ain't what we thought they were. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if you're looking at it as an at-large bid, yes, it is a must-win.
Moving on, we're going to talk about the Olympics here for a second. If Team USA takes down Slovakia today, they'll take on Canada for the gold medal game. which will be played very, very early on Sunday. There's a lot of people online. The chatter is right now that the NHL, NBC, whoever's involved in this making of the schedule, why don't we go ahead and bump that game to a later time slot if it is Canada in the United States? What are your thoughts on that?
What's the current time? Do we know?
It's like 7 a.m. For a gold medal game. And I understand it. They're playing in a different country.
Right.
Time zones are different.
Yeah.
But we have seen, as we're watching right now, a game being played at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
It has happened.
It has happened before.
I mean, obviously, we would want the gold medal game to be at a time where you don't have to wake up ass early to watch it.
But
I would
I have
say
no idea about the logistics of
Well, it's
this.
What time is it? It's 10 o'clock p.m. in Italy right now. Is that the right time?
I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna say this. It's very American to believe that they should move the game for your ass.
Whoa.
Just saying, man.
very selfish, you're saying.
Yeah, well, I said very American. Very American.
How about Canadians?
Very Canadian. Very American to think you should move the game for
I
your
wouldn't say
ass.
selfish. I would say self-centered.
Hey, come on, man.
Are you telling me people in this country think the world revolves around us?
Yes! Hell yes! Sit your ass down. Wake up at 7 a.m. and watch the game and
That's
quit
just
complaining.
a perception.
What about
Jesus.
9 a.m.? I'll take a 9 a.m. game.
Jeez.
That Mark's going to start bargaining.
It's 10 o'clock, 9:55 in Italy right now.
Well, that's wild to even think that they're playing that game right now.
Exactly. What are we doing, man? Come on, man.
Well,
Jesus.
so I think that you have your answer, Marsh. It's unlikely that they move the time, and CD doesn't believe they should. Yeah.
I got to wonder, though, if the NHL is like, we want NHL and NBC. They're like, and people are going to wake up regardless. But if they're like, maybe we should, use our powers and move this game just even a couple hours. It's not like anybody else is playing on the rink,
True.
The bronze medal game is tomorrow.
I don't know how it works logistically in terms of like the players leaving and all that. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, they probably gotta catch a flight.
Or the closing ceremonies. I have no idea.
We did get a text from the 314. Speaking of the closing ceremonies, I believe the closing ceremony is the same time as the game if it were to be at 2:10. So
There you go.
There's
There you go.
your
So no.
answer.
Yeah. So
The hell we gonna have a game after the closing ceremony? You gonna keep
No.
playing?
Come on.
Yeah.
The Winter Olympics revolves around hockey.
Nah,
it should. No.
No?
Doesn't revolve around
Does the
a
Summer
certain
Olymp-
country.
Does the Summer Olympics revolve around basketball?
No, it revolves around track. Track and field.
It does?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take your word for it.
trust me.
It's
We're gonna
fascinating.
get you to watch. We're gonna get you to watch some track and field. You're gonna
I've
watch some
watched
track and
all
field.
the track and field.
Nah.
Forever.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
Were you a
You know-
track and field guy
Yeah,
in high school?
Absolutely. Oh no. You mean
Middle
like play like?
Well, maybe not high
on the
school.
track
like
and field
middle
team?
school, like were
No.
you running? None of that.
Nope.
No triple jump.
Nope.
No vault.
I was only
Oh, well.
I was only a two sport
High jump.
athlete. I was football and baseball my entire life.
I ran track until I popped my hip out of place.
Ooh,
What did you run?
100.
Bo Jackson style.
It popped out and popped back in. Man, when I tell you, it literally took me like I fell. I hit the ground, hit the track, face first. It popped out, popped back in, and I hit the track. Couldn't move. They like rolled me off to the infield, and the doctor Carey, he's like, I said, if you touch that hip right there again, you're gonna lose a hand, sir. I was in high school. I'm gonna rip your hand off of you. Yes, it hurts. And so I got dropped off. One of my friends finally dropped. It took me, and I'm not exaggerating when I say, I think it took me like 25 minutes to walk 15 feet.
What?
Like it was.
They got you a wheelchair in it.
We were high school, man. My mom was at work.
Right.
I damn near crawled into that house.
Oh.
Yeah. It was bad, man. Didn't run track anymore after that.
Yeah, I don't blame
had to
you.
play football.
I'm sorry to hear that, but it worked out. It worked out just fine, I think. All right, Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider with the Athletic, will join us next. We'll talk to him about some Olympic hockey, of course, and also dive into any sort of Blues conversation. That's next with Jeremy Rutherford on 101 ESPN.
for the Rutherford Report with our Blues insider, Jeremy Rutherford, on 101 ESPN.
JR is brought to you by Evergreen Wealth Strategies, helping everyday people every day. Visit evergreen-ws.com.
3:02, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line, where we're joined now by our Blues insider with The Athletic, Jeremy Rutherford. What's up, Jer?
What's up, boys? Hey, I caught a little bit of the last segment. Let me ask you guys, what event, and I guess let's keep it to sports, would you wake up at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning to watch no matter what?
Football.
Super Bowl.
Football.
Super Bowl?
Anthony will wake up to watch the, I don't know, any team play. He'd watch the Raiders play the Jets.
Yep.
At 7 a.m.
I would.
He's sick that way. I wouldn't wake up that early to watch those two teams. I'd probably just read about it. But if it were two really good teams or a championship game, playoff game, yeah, I'd wake up.
Now, just to add a little context, I'm up anyways because of the kids. So
no, you'd wake up out of your sleep if the kids were asleep. You'd set an alarm to watch that damn Jets Raiders game.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
What about you?
What about Anthony? What about if the Falcons were beating the Patriots, like say 28-0? Would you turn that on at 7 a.m.? That Super Bowl?
I would. Oh, you mean to rewatch it? No.
Yeah.
No, I enjoy pain, JR, but that's a little too painful. No. I'll write your name down too. I got a list.
Right.
I got a 28-3 comment list, and let's see, Jeremy Rutherford.
You got to work to get off that list, JR.
26.
Guys,
I'll
be watching it Sunday because I'll be already at the gym for an hour. I get to the gym.
Yeah, of course you will.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I don't see any lipstick over there, Anthony, so I don't know if that name's coming off anytime soon.
Nope. I'm gonna put that right there. Yep. JR, we had the conversation earlier today about Jordan Binnington and whether or not his trade value has gone up because of the Olympics. And I think as a show, we kind of drew the consensus as no, not really. But what's your thought on that?
No, I don't think so. And it's not because he's played good or let in a few, whatever. I think it's a situation where teams know who he is. And I just don't think that, him going and playing in front of one of the best teams ever assembled is going to change the opinions of NHL general managers on whether they want to bring him on board or not. So I think if they thought it going into this Olympics that they liked him and they wanted to see if he's available and what it would cost, then they'll do it. And if not, I don't think this is going to change much.
JR, the Blues have been back practicing, if I believe, and have you talked to any of the guys? Have you had any opportunities to kind of get what their experiences were over this past couple of weeks to see that what they've been doing and how ready they are to get the season started back up?
Well, full disclosure, I was out there one of the couple days that they've been back practicing and didn't speak to any of the players, but we did have a chat with Jim Montgomery, and, they're excited to be back out on the ice, and probably, if you put their hand to the stove there, they would acknowledge where they're at in the standings and that, it's kind of changed the outlook as they come back this year compared to when they came back from the Four Nations last year and really put together that run that got them into the playoffs. That's probably not likely this year. And also you got the trade deadline in 12 days. So that's going to change things. I think this team's going to look a lot different in a couple weeks. So you always hate to say, Carey, you hate to say to athletes, resign to the fact, but I think that we all know which direction this is headed, and they're probably just looking forward to getting back out on the ice for these last 25 games and putting something together that you can say, hey, we finished strong, and it's something that they can build on for next season.
JR, you sort of mentioned there that you don't believe that something like what happened last year could occur this season. Why is it? Obviously, the team hasn't played well this year, but they really didn't play well at the beginning of last year either. They're kind of in a similar situation. What is different about this team and their makeup, maybe mentally, compared to last year, and why you concluded that it probably won't happen again?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the answer is this. I think that there's just too many things that are off this year. Like last year, there were some areas of the game where, hey, if you could shore this up, maybe the team could play well. Maybe if a couple of these top guys like really performed, this team could get back into this thing, and Robert Thomas did. I don't know that you could get 2 or 3 or 4 of these top guys, playing at their best. Also get, the goaltending with Jordan Binnington up to where the level it needs to be, the special teams, so on and so forth. That's the on-ice answer to your question. My off-ice answer to your question is that a year ago, I think if you're Doug Armstrong, it made some sense to keep it together and let them play it out. And that's what he did at the trade deadline. Like they stood pat, right? And I think that this year, I don't think that's an option. So, even if you thought that all those things that I just mentioned were going to come together and this team was going to go on a run, what's the team going to look like in 12 days when they get back from the Olympics? So I think that's the reason why I think this year is different than last year.
Jeremy Rutherford is our Blues insider with The Athletic. You can follow him on Twitter at JP Rutherford. JR, level with us when it comes to, just your own personal opinions on this, where the Blues are right now, where they could be by the end of the season. The contract situation, of course, is an ongoing concern I think that some Blues fans have. How big of a job is it for the front office to get this thing back on track heading into next season? It doesn't feel like there's a lot of easy decisions to be made.
No, there's not. And even if you just believe that, these 3 guys are going to get moved, and, could we be talking about a Falk, a Shen, perhaps a Binnington, or a Kyrou and a Thomas going to be moved, whether it be before the trade deadline or this summer? It's a lot. And there's a lot that could unfold not only in the next couple of weeks, but in the next few months that's going to change the trajectory of this thing one way or another. And so, I hate to always sound like going into the off season, you're making headlines with your statements, but this off season, I can't think of one that would be more pivotal in the last however many years. Like, I guess perhaps you could, in terms of in-season, you could go back to the middle of that 2018-19 season when, they're in the bottom of the standings, and could they blow it up? Could Doug Armstrong, walk away from the team like he's hinted at, indicated, said on a couple of occasions after winning the Stanley Cup that was a possibility? Like, there's some things in that 18-19 season where, it could have really changed the future of the franchise. But in terms of roster construction, Doug Armstrong handing things over to Alexander Steen, there's just so many things I see in the next 4 to 6 months that are going to put the Blues in a position to either be contenders in a couple years, or if they don't make the right decisions or get the right returns for, some of these guys, could set them back even further. So a lot to come here in the next few months.
JR, do we have an injury update status for Dylan Holloway? I know he was dealing with some ankle issues, and we talked about it. Sometimes that ankle being high ankle sprain is worse than being broke. Are you have any updates on him?
Yeah, Dylan Holloway, a full skater at the practice I was at a few days ago, and Jim Montgomery felt that he'd be a player unless there was another setback, none that I'm aware of. And today, again, not at practice, I wasn't, but Robert Thomas skated and told reporters Lou Korak and Matt DeFranks afterwards that that's an injury that dates back to last season for him, that minor leg injury that he had surgery on here recently before the break. And so he's back skating, and don't know when he'll get into a game, if it'll be the first one back from the break. But as Jim Montgomery said a few days ago, he is skating and practicing with the team.
JR, I'm curious, would you give this core another chance? I know obviously there's talks about trading players, and of course certain players would have to waive their no-trade clause, but are you under the impression that this core deserves another chance to really solidify themselves as the future of the Blues?
No, you can't. You can't. It's got to be altered some way, somehow. Like the expectations for this team this year, like, let's be honest, they weren't to win a Stanley Cup. Yeah, but they were to compete. They were to perhaps finish third in the division. Like Doug Armstrong had, I think a good outlook for this team this season, and it just didn't happen. And I think it starts at the top with some of those players that you're talking about in the core there. So whether it's moving one of them, whether it's moving two of them, whether it's accenting that core and bringing in somebody else to change things up, it just has to. This season was just too far off the map to be able to run it back with this group and say that, hey, listen, 2025-26 was a blip. We don't think that's something that we're going to see again. That's not the case with this. This thing needs to be revamped.
All right, JR, we'll let you go. Have a great weekend, and we'll check back with you again next week.
Yeah, and no spoilers for me on the Olympics. I hope everybody gets home to watch their recording. The only thing I will say, Anthony, is that I know that the Americans, they brought Tage Thompson onto that team because they liked his shot, and if he could just get that off in this game against Slovakia today, that would really help their chances of getting to the finals. So,
I like your breakdown. Yeah, I like your breakdown, JR. I think I don't know. The word clairvoyant kind of comes to mind here on that. Yeah.
Thanks, boys.
All right, we'll see you.
Get up Sunday. Come on, I'll be at the gym. You'll be watching that soccer game, and we'll watch the American.
I'm just going to join you at the gym. How about that?
All right.
All right, we'll see you. That's Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider with The Athletic here on 101 ESPN. Yeah, with no spoiler alerts, because I know there's a lot of listeners that text us and say, hey, please don't mention it. I love listening to you guys, which we appreciate. But I'm recording the game, or I'm going to watch it later, or whatever. Please don't hand out any sort of updates, and we won't. So there you have it. Marsh doesn't like it. You're disappointed.
No. I just had a thought, and back in the 1980 when the United States played Russia, it was like on tape delay. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine before watching the games? Hey, USA won. They beat Russia. I almost wouldn't believe them.
Right. You're like, I'm still gonna watch. I know you're joshing me right now. All right. Can you be successful if you never know the status of your best player? Kind of a strange situation going on in college basketball right now. We'll tell you the latest and dive into that discussion next on 101 ESPN. interesting situation going on right now in college basketball, facing a one prominent team. And CD, you've been following the story much closer than I have, so I'll let you set the table.
So I've been watching Kansas's basketball player, KU. They have a basketball player named Darren Peterson, who is arguably maybe the top number one overall draft pick in this upcoming year's draft. A lot of people are excited about him. He's playing really well. But he has been kind of hit or miss in terms of playing in games. And there's been
he's a player.
Yeah, he is, but he's not playing in all the games.
What?
Right now, he's only played in 15 games out of a possible 26. And there are questions about either there's something actually wrong with him in terms of physically, if he's actually dealing with some injuries, or if he's just deciding, you know what, I don't want to play. And so there are a lot of frustration, a lot of questions in regards to where he is and what he's been doing so far this season. And last game, well, not the last game, I think it was the last game against Oklahoma State, he scored 20 points in the first half, went through halftime, came out after halftime, made one three-pointer and pointed to the bench and said, hey, I need to come out, essentially, and didn't return to the game. And so they said, oh, he's dealing with cramping. So in the games that he's missed a game due to a hamstring, maybe a few games due to a hamstring, a game due to having a cold, which was against the number one team, Arizona, at home. He had a cold, said he couldn't play, and he's been dealing with some cramping issues. So there have been some questions regarding, is this dude really hurt, or is he just ready to go to the NBA and not want to partake in any basketball anymore? And so now you're putting your head coach, your team, in a position where you got to kind of work around whether or not your best player is actually going to play or if he's going to miss this game. And so my question to you was, can you be successful if you don't know the status of your best player? You come out of halftime, you just scored 20 points, you're like, oh, we're good. He might score another 20. Nope, I'm going to give you 3 points and I'm going to go sit down.
No, it makes it virtually impossible if you're a head coach to do right by the team. So if this is a situation where Darren Peterson is taking himself out of games because he's worried about his NBA status, well, not only do I have concerns, and Bill Self did call the situation concerning.
Yes.
But not only do I have concerns if I'm Bill Self in Kansas and his teammates, but I have real concerns if I'm an NBA team.
100%.
What am I getting?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's it to say? Okay, so you're removing yourself from basketball games. To me, and again, if assuming he's doing this and he's not injured or he's not dealing with some sort of medical issue that some sort of underlying issue that is the real problem. Assuming that's not the case, well, I don't want you. You're not competitive. I want competitive players. I don't want somebody looking for a payday. And as soon as you get the check, you're just gonna run through the motions.
He does kind of fit in with the NBA though.
Marshy.
We just talked about it the other day.
He's already starting his load management.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man. That's good, though. That's good. I'm looking as a person, like I was a person that cramped a lot. And so I couldn't hear which coach they were talking to. I was listening to Ian Fitzsimmons. I think he was talking to a basketball coach, and they were talking about his cramping issues. And if you are a person, and I will tell you that I have had full body cramps. I have had cramping issues before games. Like I had to take certain things in terms of like electrolytes and all of these things. They had to like pump me fluid just with fluids before games because I would cramp up so bad. In pregame, I cramped up in high school. My high school coach, he listens all the time. He'll tell it was bad. Like it was really bad for me. So I'm a little bit, sentimental to the cramping issue because it's nothing, isn't really until you figure out what you need to do to resolve that issue, it's hard to get it under control. So if it's a cramping issue, I do understand that because there's nothing, your body is just like rejecting whatever it is you're trying to put into it to get you prepared to play or finish a game. If it's something like missing a game because you were a little bit under the weather versus the number one team in the country at home,
I mean, the two could go hand in hand, I guess. If you are sick and you want to play, but you're dehydrated.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
We don't know. There's been others, some are criticizing him for being inconsistent, lack of clear explanation for why he keeps exiting games. And with John Scores in the snake pit goes, well, the coach has to pull you out. Well, how can you pull yourself out as a player? Well, CD just described it. CD said, that Peterson pointed to the bench saying he's coming out. He's taking himself out. Mm-hmm. So, but the flip side of this, there are others who have defended Peterson saying he wants to play, and there could be a real physical or even mental component that hasn't been publicly clarified. If that's the case, I feel bad for the kid.
Yeah. Because if it's a real issue.
Yeah.
But we don't know. None of us know. None of us, his coaching staff knows. And I think Bill Self has been defending him to the best of his ability and really, not throwing him under the bus, not giving you, I don't think, any indication to say that this young man doesn't want to play. And you look at his teammates on the sideline, they seem to be, they seem to love him. Like they generally, if you're a bad teammate or if you're a selfish teammate, nobody deals with you to a certain degree. So I do believe that it is really an issue that he's dealing with, and as a person that has dealt with a lot of cramping, you want pain, Anthony? You wake up at 3:00 in the morning with a cramp that you don't know where it came from, and you cannot get it out of you. Oh my God! I walk around. I walk laps to this day. If I get a cramp, just walk laps. So, and I'm not nearly as active as I was when I was 20 years old. So I can see that it could be an issue, but hopefully it's not that he doesn't want to play basketball. It's just body failing him right now, and he can get that corrected, hopefully.
Yeah. Going back to the original question, Carey, you were a head coach. When you had your best players not available going into a game, I'm assuming though you had a clear understanding of what the game plan was because you knew that he wouldn't be available compared to a game plan where he might be available, he might not.
I'll tell you that we lost one of our best offensive linemen 5 minutes before we were supposed to get on the bus to go to a game. He's an offensive lineman and defensive lineman. That sucked. That was terrible. And said, hey, he's not playing today. Wait, what? Why? When did you didn't know this 30 minutes ago? You didn't know this a day ago? So when you don't have one of your best, and he was one of our best players, when you don't have one of your best players, that's different because you still, he's a vital part because he's an offensive lineman. But I think that it throws a monkey wrench in your game plan, especially like in that last game against Oklahoma State. They won by 12. It was a good win. But you go into that game, your best player scores 20 points in the first half. You go into halftime, and now all of a sudden he's like, I can't go, coach. I can't go anymore. My body is hurting or it's failing me. So I think that to me is it's a level of frustration, and you do try to next man up it, but when it's your best player, the next man ain't gonna be as good, man. It just not. Yeah. It just is what it is. So you got to deal with it.
Yeah, you can game plan only so much.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you can't win, but obviously things change. And if that player is an offensive player, specifically in a game like football, well, you've got a whole area of your playbook dedicated to that player.
Yes.
It's about players, not plays. So,
well, that was kind of my point. Like, if we bring it to football, I personally would rather go into the game knowing that my guy cannot go versus him. Like, for instance, Fernando Mendoza, let's say he doesn't come back in the Big Ten championship game. My entire game plan is like thrown out the window.
Sure.
Rather than him being injured in practice or the week before, and I know what I have to do strategically to try and win the game.
You're screwed either way. Jared Stidham knew he was playing. It didn't matter, man. Right. And when Brock Purdy tore his elbow up, it didn't matter. You lose one of your best players, in that position specifically. Hey, good luck. And every now and then you'll get a backup to come in and do some amazing things.
Yeah.
But most times, Anthony, you'll get your Jeff Hostetler every now and then.
Your Kurt Warner.
Yeah. Yeah. Your Nick Foles.
The extreme
Kurt
example.
is an extreme example.
Yeah. Well, so is Nick Foles.
It's one game.
Well, Kurt went the whole year.
Right.
Nick Foles only went a couple of weeks.
3 or 4 games.
Yeah. And won it.
He did.
Can never take it back either, as much as we try. All right. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
I'm not trying to take is Super Bowl away. Are you?
Aren't you?
Who,
Why
Nick
would I want to
Foles?
take? Oh yeah.
You want to take Nick Foles' Super Bowl away?
Yeah, who doesn't?
Why?
It's Eagles fans.
Why would you want to take it away?
You trying to give another one to Tom Brady?
No, I just played 2 games. That's it. Played 2 games well. I don't know.
Well,
Kinda ticks me off.
If they didn't like it, they should have played better. Whatever team you're talking about.
Well, they did.
They didn't play well enough.
Played better than him.
Well, they're about 3 yards short.
Exactly. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. Sports Six Pack is next. So if you have a question for us, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line, and we'll answer it next in the Sports Six Pack. The Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Championship, the State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Championship Arch Madness is coming to the Enterprise Center March 5th through the 8th. So we're just a couple of weeks away. They're celebrating the 50th year of heart racing excitement. The last 36 years right here in St. Louis. I know tons of people that go down to see the Arch Madness tournament each and every year. Even if you're not a fan or alum of one of the teams from the Missouri Valley Conference, there's so much to do at these basketball games, and the entertainment is so high because, as you know, whoever wins the tournament gets a ticket to the NCAA tournament. And if you're looking for tickets for the Arch Madness tournament, go to archmadness.com. Specifically, check out the Family Fun Pack presented by 101 ESPN. 4 tickets, 4 sodas, 4 popcorns for $105. Again, that Family Fun Pack presented by us here at 101 ESPN includes 4 tickets for the family, 4 sodas, 4 popcorns for $105. Coupons available at archmadness.com. So in a couple of weeks, make sure you head down and see Belmont or Bradley or Illinois State take on Northern Iowa and Drake and Valparaiso. You'll love the action. It's one of the best traditions annually here in St. Louis. It is the State Farm Men's Basketball Championship, the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. Archmadness.com for your tickets.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We recently talked with Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider with The Athletic. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have part one of our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so get your questions in to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll answer those questions next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane at 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. Jamie will be back with us on Monday. We have our Sports Six-Pack right now, 314-399-9646 to the Air Comfort Service text line. So send in those questions for us. Marsh, what do you got for us?
Question number one.
All right, we get a question from the 636. I was watching NFL Network the other day, and they had on Super Bowl 43. And I heard John Madden say, "What a play by Carey Davis," when he knocked down a ball that was batted by a defensive player. Carey, what was the favorite play or your favorite play that you made that Super Bowl season?
Oh, it's clearly the AFC Championship game. The start of that game, I put that young lad to sleep.
Do you even know his name?
Stone, because he felt like one.
Wow. Was it Darren Stone, the former safety?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm glad he's okay. But that was my favorite play. And that play that the texter is talking about, I think it was a flat route that was thrown to me, and I forget the safety's name. Wilson, maybe? Adrian Wilson?
Adrian
Wilson. I mean, he was a hell of a player. He almost picked that thing, and I became a defensive back. Snatched his hands down and knocked the ball out so we didn't turn it over. So,
yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Things could have been different.
Yeah, it could have been. The opening kickoff, man, to start the game, you put a guy to sleep. That beautiful. That's when football was football. You can't hit people like that no more, Anthony. They'll send you to jail. Go straight to jail.
No, that's not.
No,
that's not necessarily true.
You got to do things.
That's what when they send you inside, it's jail. You're not playing anymore.
2007 Ravens team?
2008.
It was 2008.
Yeah.
Because you guys played in the 2009 Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we've gone, right that one.
All right. Just got to look this up, guys. I'm fascinated by
Darren
this.
Stone, pretty sure.
Let's see, where's the roster here? Okay, defensive backs. Yeah, Darren Stone. Yeah. Yep. Nice work, man.
Nah, no problem. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Way to go.
Thanks.
Question number two.
You ended his career.
Nah, I didn't.
This is his last game with the Ravens. This is his last game in the NFL.
Don't do that.
I'm looking at it right now.
Don't say that.
The only reason why I knew is the name was familiar because he was a sixth-round pick of the Falcons in 2007. Played 1 year for the Falcons, 1 year for the Cowboys.
Now I feel bad.
Ravens 2008. Didn't play again until the Calgary Stampeders in 2011. So you ended his career for like 3 seasons.
Ooh. Ended his NFL career.
Ooh. So you, to Darren Stone, is like what Jamie did to the Phoenix Coyotes. Ruined them.
Wow. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I didn't know that.
Man, you probably ruined that Dolphins player's career too.
I definitely think I did. I don't know how much he played after that.
That was a cornerback, wasn't it?
Jason, yeah.
Jason Alexander.
No.
Kid from Tennessee, right?
Yeah. 2006 draft. He's a first-round pick. I don't think I ruined his. I think he kept playing.
Well, let's look it up. Jason Allen, safety out of Tennessee.
Is that his name? Yep.
He played for the Dolphins from 06 to 2010.
There you go.
Then went to the Texans for a couple years, and the Bengals won.
See, he kept playing.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He's fine.
He's fine.
Like that Darren Stone, who had to quit playing football for 3 years after that. Carey almost murdered him.
Well,
That was a big hit.
I can't say that he didn't deserve it.
Wow.
He had on the wrong color, Anthony, and color shows. You got to hit color in the hole. That's the golden rule.
You're just doing your job.
Yeah, you know,
doing my job, man.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, do what you had to do.
Yeah.
All
He'd
right.
have done it to me if he could.
Absolutely, he would have.
That's how I made my life. I never felt bad about harming someone if I harmed them.
Yeah.
Because if they could do it to me, they would. Mm-hmm. So better you than me, man.
314 says, if only CD had cramps that game, Stone may have had a real career. No, we didn't say it.
No, I think it's a good point.
Now
though.
they got my cramping issues corrected by then.
Oh, there you
Our
go.
trainer
Obviously.
Rico used to come help me out every game, give me a concoction.
There you go.
Good to go.
Waterboy says CD won't ruin your Gauntlet career, but he may ruin your NFL career.
Yeah.
Struggling in the Gauntlet. Thanks, Waterboy.
All right, so I already hit the button for question 2. Our second question comes from Blue42, Set Pizza Hut. In your opinion, what is the best sports moment of all time?
My best sports moment of all time? Like my favorite?
What is
like
the best sports moment of all time?
just the, not personalized, so the best sports
in
moment
your
of all
opinion,
time.
what's the best sports moment ever?
Probably the U.S. men's victory over Russia. Miracle on Ice.
That's the one you're gonna go with?
I don't know. How can you? How can you choose just one?
Best sports moment? Yeah, well, you are.
No, I'm saying, well, it's not mine. It's like the best moment ever.
Oh,
that's the question. The best. So what is it?
the best sports moment.
Yes. Well, Marsh asked the question. You like, didn't even answer it.
Super Bowl when the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Arizona Cardinals.
You're being biased.
Yeah, you think? Of course. Of course I'm being biased. That's the best sports moment ever.
Okay.
In my opinion. This is my opinion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you going to argue with me about what I think the best sports moment ever is?
Oh, I guess not.
I thought we were playing the game.
But I mean, you got the shot in 1989. Michael Jordan's shot.
That didn't even win a championship.
Got the helmet catch for David Tyree. Rumble in the jungle.
Nah.
Okay.
No, Lord, I'm over here breaking.
Kobe's 81-point game.
Me breaking. That is a good one.
Like I said, the Miracle on Ice, 1980.
Yeah. The biggest upset ever.
Right.
That's a good one.
Okay.
81 points is spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't 100 points.
No.
Maybe that's the greatest sports feat ever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I didn't see it.
314 is letting us know that U.S. never beat Russia. It was the Soviet Union.
Thank you.
Soviets.
Yes.
We beat the Soviets.
Thank you.
That's got to be the best, right?
That's what I said initially.
I mean,
Did you watch it?
Well, no, I wasn't.
Well, how
I
do you
wasn't
know
born.
how great it was?
Because I know
You didn't see it personally.
I have some semblance of history.
Doesn't it have to be something you saw? Your greatest sports moment?
it wasn't it was the.
Yeah, it was not mine.
The Ohio State.
Based on who?
On your opinion.
How do you have an opinion of something you never saw?
You know what?
I'm asking real questions that need to be asked. Nobody wants to ask it. I'm just saying. How can it be something the best ever? That's like, this is the best pizza I never had. How the hell do you know? You never had it.
What's your deal, man? I saw a documentary on it.
I'm asking questions. How can something be the best if you never partook in it? You had no. You're just being told. You're being
because
fed.
I understand. I understand
Don't let the
the
system
moment.
Feed you.
I understand the moment.
It's a context.
This is the machine is feeding you the answers, man. You got to think for yourself, brother.
I did.
No, you didn't. You didn't see that damn game.
All right, fine. The 98 NFC Championship game.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about, Anthony. Yeah. Let me get you the Falcons.
Massive upset.
It really was. It was a huge upset. That to this day, I am still blown away by how the Minnesota Vikings did not win that game.
Pam Oliver on the sidelines asking Denny Green, hey, when do you guys go down to Miami, which is where the Super Bowl was played that year? When you guys leaving for Miami? Denny Green goes, well, if we win, then we'll leave on Tuesday. Pam Oliver knew.
That didn't work out.
Until she didn't.
That didn't work out.
No, didn't work out. One damn bit.
618 says Fernando Tatis, 2 grand slams in 1 inning. Watched it live as a kid.
Okay.
There's a lot of great moments in sports history.
There really are. There's no shortage of great moments.
Yeah.
It says, I'm clearly not a fan of the moon landing.
Well, that's not sports related.
And CD doesn't believe it actually happened.
I didn't say that.
Is that true?
That's what he told me Tuesday.
You conspiracy theorist?
No, I'm not.
He leaned back in his chair. You went to the bathroom. He leaned back in his chair and he goes, Anthony, that moon landing never happened. You know that, right? That's what he said.
Huh.
I think there are a lot of things that happen or don't happen. You know what I mean? That we don't know about. You know what I mean?
Unless they want to conveniently tell us.
Just out of nowhere. You know what? Look at this. How about this?
Look over here. Look over here. All right. We're going down a dangerous path here. So why don't we take a break? Sports Six Pack Part 2 is coming up. So 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. If you have more questions for us, send those in, and we'll do Part 2 next.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
Time for part 2 of the Sports Six Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. Marsh, hey, fire away.
Question number 3.
All right, so the last question we had focused around the best sports moment. The 636 wants to know, what is the worst sports memory that you have? And it mentions fifth down, Mizzou, 85 World Series, the Dinkinger call.
What'd you say?
Carey, before we get to Anthony and his answer, what would your worst sports memory be?
Worst sports memory. I mean, I don't know, watching Scott Norwood miss that kick did something to me as a child.
Really?
I felt bad, man.
So bad for him?
I felt really bad for him. Like it was all there to and who knew you were going to make it 3 more times and you guys never win it. Like that felt bad for me watching that. I don't know if I had any moments where I felt physically like, ugh. I mean, nah.
Back in the day, that wasn't like a chip shot, though.
No.
Like, I feel like now we look at his name and we're like, oh, man, this guy missed that kick. We're like, because kickers can make like 60-yard field goals now.
Yeah.
We're like, back in the day, that wasn't a chip shot by any means.
No, it really wasn't. Still, obviously, a makeable field goal, but no, you're right. It was today's day and age. It's like an extra point,
right?
But yeah. So the worst sports moments. Yeah, I'll go 28-3.
You had to think about it?
Nope, really didn't.
I'm trying to think, man. What impacted me? You know what else? What really didn't sit well with me? Chris Webber calling that timeout because I was a huge Fab Five fan. Like I love those guys. Watching them lose, it was like, oh, that stinks. That. Like most of mine are like childhood memories.
Yeah.
Watching the team, that you enjoyed watching.
Not necessarily sports, but sports related. I remember watching the A's Giants 1989 World Series, the earthquake.
Yeah.
And watching, I just remember all the players and the managers gathering in the dugout with their family members. And then kind of, I don't know if it was my parents telling me or I don't know, maybe I watched the news or whatever, people losing their lives because of the earthquake and people were trapped on the bridge. So that one, that impacted me big time.
This one is a little bit more obscure. Probably, I'd say less than 1% of our listeners would even recollect this moment. But for me, I believe it was my junior year, and I worked for the North Dakota Athletic Department, so I would film the hockey games for the series that we had to get like B-roll and all that stuff. And we were at the regional tournament, and if they won, you move on to the next game. You go to the Frozen Four. The year before, we won the Frozen Four. So I was hoping that, we won the national championship. I was hoping that we'd go back, and we took on Boston University, came back, tied the game, went to overtime, won the game, called back for an offsides, and then BU ended up winning. And this was in Fargo, which was like an hour away where the junior team played. And I remember watching Clayton Keller and Charlie McAvoy just snap the puck around, backdoor, boom, game over. And I'm like, oh man.
Jeez.
And they never got back to the tournament when I was in college the rest of the way. Like that was the last time they had played.
Yeah. Ben from the Snake Pit says death of Dale Earnhardt in 2001. Yeah. This is one I did think about. Splashback Deuce just posted it, though. He said Tyson biting Holyfield was the first time I remember seeing someone try to injure someone in-game, so to speak.
That was...
Yeah, that was rough.
Wild.
Yep.
Yeah, that was wild.
The 636 brings up a pretty tough one for all of us St. Louis fans. October 10th, 2009. We're getting very specific here. Worst day ever in St. Louis sports. Matt Holliday dropped the game-winning out off his, in the playoff game versus the Dodgers. I remember that. That was tough. Mizzou football blew a game against Nebraska.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure the Blues lost a random regular season game.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that is tough. Holy smokes.
It's a bad day, man.
I think the games that hurt the most for your favorite team are the ones where it's not like a deep playoff run, but you look at the team constructed and you're like, man, if they would have gotten past this point, they could have had a deep run. Like I think of the 2021 Cardinals team when they played that one-game playoff against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
That team that won all of those games. And then they played the one game against the Dodgers, the home run happens, and then it is what it is. Same thing in 2022. You had Albert, and Yachty. You lose to a wild card team. You don't even win a game.
At least that wild card team went to the World Series.
Yeah.
They figured it out.
Right.
Now this stuff.
Right. Last year with the Blues. It was a tough one. Who knows what the Blues end up doing?
DLW 1904 says Yzerman scored in double overtime of Game 7. Wictolia says, never say that again. I died that day. Ben came back and said, I know this seems like recency bias, but the 1.6 seconds last year with the Blues. This was tough. This is what are we doing here?
Trying to be miserable.
Everybody's depressed now.
Mad
Everybody's depressed now.
Yeah, man.
Going back to my childhood, though, there was a moment where I know it's kind of weird, but I followed a young hockey team that had easily the greatest player statistically that any youth hockey program will have ever seen. And I remember watching a game in which he had an opportunity to win the game on a penalty shot. And he hit the post. And that's he went out losing an OT, and his career was never he tried to come back at some point after coaching some youth hockey, and then went back and then got injured because he had bad knees at that point. He was just older.
Played for the
Hawks.
Ohio State.
Well, no. The team that he...
Oh, the North Stars?
No, he never played for the North Stars.
The Golden Gophers?
No. This could be a good gauntlet question. That's right, Anthony. The Minnesota Wave.
Oh, the Minnesota Wave. That's right. Yep. Good call. Yeah, so you followed that same young man.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's tough.
Yeah. I mean, great coach, though, right?
Yeah.
Galvanized a group of youngsters who literally had no idea how to play hockey.
Yeah.
Turned them into a wagon. They represented the United States of America.
Man.
And for whatever reason, they decided to not wear the jerseys, the flag on their jerseys.
Yeah, totally disrespectful, to be honest. Totally disrespectful. Walrus King says sports in general is not serious enough to get that upset about. So many more important things in this world. While you are right, Walrus, I think I can speak for all of us to say you shut your mouth.
I think the text line speaks volumes because we don't get. This is. What did you all do? Why would you open this can of worms? You know what I mean? You know how it's Friday, man. You got to go into the weekend thinking about your worst loss that you've endured as a fan.
I don't like this at all.
Yeah. At all. Well, what made you the saddest ever in your damn life? Yeah. Do tell.
Please make sure you go into great detail.
I would say we could move on to the next question, but we haven't received another question in 10 minutes because we've all been sad.
Very sad.
Everyone's just reliving sad time.
It's Sports awful.
Live.
Yeah. Do we want to end on this?
I think we have to.
Okay, fine.
Maybe we get some Gauntlet listener, someone to play the Gauntlet, see if maybe they can win.
Okay. Well, why don't you go ahead and text in if you do want to play in the Gauntlet. Feel free to do so. Text in 314-399-9646. It's the Air Comfort Service text line. Marsh, he'll sort through some things. He'll pick out a Gauntlet contestant. We'll play the Gauntlet next. Hey, when it comes to playing the NBA or hockey or even the Olympics is still going on, you got to check out my friends at Underdog. They're handing out money all season long if you're able to select players that will go higher or lower on their stats. So if you're looking at the NBA, you're looking at points and rebounds, assists. They've got even fantasy projections that you can choose whether or not players will go higher or lower on. You get your entries right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the app today. Use my promo code Anthony, the last four at sign up. And once you do so, you're going to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, don't forget to type in just my first name. It's all you have to remember, Anthony, at that promo code, and then you'll score the $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5 on Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 or older and present Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncbgambling.org.
Warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
4:02, your time check, brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Time to play the Gauntlet here in the Fast Lane. We got Jay on the line. What's up, Jay?
Hey, how's it going, Anthony?
Doing great, man. Appreciate you listening. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for playing in the Gauntlet. Would you like to take on Marsh, Carey, or me today?
Well, since Jamie's out, I'm going to go with you, Mr. Stalter.
Okay, you're gonna challenge the big dog if Jamie was in.
If Jamie was in, yeah, I'd go with Jamie.
All right, fair enough. Well, good luck to you, man.
All right, thanks.
All right, Jay Anthony is heading out to the cone of silence. You know how this goes. Tell Marshy to spin that wheel.
Come on, MC Marshy, spin it.
Is there a particular category you're hoping for today or to stay away from?
I can't say that. I know how that wheel works.
All right. Well, the wheel is done spinning. Would you like to say it now?
No.
No, okay. Well, you got random.
That's what I was hoping for.
You want to take on Anthony and random? He actually been doing pretty well.
He's pretty good at random.
He's been doing good so far in 2026. So you know how this goes. You answer it correctly without the options, you get 2 points. You answer it correctly with the options, you get 1 point. Incorrect answers, you get 0. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Tortuga is an island off the northern coast of Haiti. What does the word Tortuga mean in Spanish?
Oh, my wife is going to be happy I know this. It means turtle.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 2. Who was the first private citizen to transmit a message via telegraph?
Alexander Graham Bell. Final answer.
Question number 3. Hold on. Okay. 5 for Fighting became a fixture of Billboard's adult contemporary charts in the 2000s. Name this band's signature hit, which became an anthem of solidarity after September 11th.
Oh, man, I know this, but it's not hidden. Give me the options.
Is it Superman? It's Not Easy, Chances, or The Riddle?
Let's go with Chances. Final answer.
Question number 4. Who wrote the thriller Where the Crawdads Sing?
I'm not well read enough for that. I'll take options.
Is it Patricia Cornwell, James Patterson, or Delia Owens?
Patterson's the only name I recognize, so I'll go with James Patterson. Final answer.
All right, we'll get Anthony in here. Jay, how you feeling?
I'm doing all right. I'm probably like 2 out of 4, maybe.
Okay.
If I'm lucky. 1 out of 4, I know I got the Tortuga, but we'll see what Anthony's got up his sleeve today. I did meet one of your fellow Illini at New Year's this year, your buddy Chip from Fox 2.
Chip Nicastro, that's
Great
my guy.
dude.
Yeah, his daughter's a hooper.
Dude.
She can hoop. Yeah.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
dude.
So my best friend's son is dating his middle daughter.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah, great
right.
people, great people.
Anthony, you back in from the Cone of Silence. How you feeling, buddy?
Good.
How was the Cone of Silence?
Silence.
You by yourself?
Yeah.
Riders out? No one?
Actually went to the bathroom, then went to the Cone of Silence.
Man, these breaks are short.
Yeah,
man.
they're
We
real
gotta-
short.
Gotta.
And Marsh won't do anything about it.
Yeah,
What are you
man.
talking about?
We're struggling.
Well, there's less hosts, so that means the breaks are shorter.
I don't
That's-
think that's how that works.
Oh, we got a text a couple weeks ago that
Yeah, it don't make
said
sense.
that if we had less hosts, the breaks would be shorter.
Nah. No.
All right, Anthony. What category would you choose? You know what? Don't worry about it. It's random.
Okay.
Marshy, tell him.
Pack a lunch.
Again?
Yeah, again.
This wheel starts spinning. I'll give you a little tip if you're a listener, right? And you want a certain category. If you listen and the wheel is spinning toward a certain category for a couple of times, it's probably going to land there again in short order.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Tortuga is an island off the northern coast of Haiti. What does the word Tortuga mean in Spanish?
Tortoise or turtle. Everybody knows that from Pirates of the Caribbean. The island of Tortuga. Final answer.
Question number 2. Who was the first private citizen to transmit a message via telegraph?
That's a great question, Marsh. One in which I do not know. Options.
Options are Dolly Madison, Betsy Ross, or Daniel Garfield.
Daniel Garfield. Final answer.
Question number 3. 5 for Fighting became a fixture of Billboard's adult contemporary charts in the 2000s. Name this band's signature hit, which became an anthem of solidarity after September 11th.
Oh, I don't know. Options.
Superman, It's Not Easy, Chances, or The Riddle?
Wow. Superman. What is it, Superman? It's not easy. Chances and what? The riddle?
The riddle.
Superman, it ain't easy. Final answer.
Question number 4. Who wrote the thriller Where the Crawdads Sing?
Options.
Options are Patricia Cornwell, James Patterson, or Delia Owens.
There's no way it's James Patterson. I'll go Delia Owens. Final answer.
All right. Let's do this. Starting number 1. Tortuga is an island off the northern coast of Haiti. What does the word Tortuga mean in Spanish? Jay, you said turtle. Anthony, you said turtle without the options. Correct answer is
Turtle.
2-2 tie. Jay didn't need the options either.
Nice job, Jay.
Let's go to question number 2. Who was the first private citizen to transmit a message via the telegraph? Jay, without the options, said Alexander Graham Bell, which was not an option. Anthony, you said Daniel Garfield. Correct answer is?
It's Dolly Madison.
2-2 still. You both got it incorrect. All right, here we go. Let's go here. Who wrote the thriller Where the Crawdads Sing? Anthony said, well, it ain't James Patterson. At least I don't think. Give me that Delia Owens. Jay said, well, sounds like something James Patterson would write. Correct answer is
Delia Owens.
Anthony is up 3-2. Comes down to this. Five for Fighting became a fixture of Billboard's adult contemporary charts in the 2000s. Name this band's signature hit, which became an anthem of solidarity after September 11. Jay, you took the options. You said Chances. Anthony, you also took the options. You said Superman. If it's Superman or the riddle, Anthony got you, Jay. If it's Chances, we got to walk off. Jay.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Not today.
It was Superman.
Oh.
Anthony got you 4-2 today, Jay.
Oh, man, I got the category. I just didn't get the questions. I'm just glad it wasn't a bunch of college football. 'Cause, I know football. I just don't know college football, but he still got me. You guys are great. Appreciate you. Keep it up. Get Jamie back in there. We need to give him some crap. Enough vacation, right?
Well,
agreed.
Well said, Jay. Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, Jay.
Good job, Jay.
All right, y'all take care.
You too.
See you, Jay.
Thanks. Man, Jay's a good dude.
You didn't know Five for Fighting? Come on, man.
No.
You know the song.
You still call me Superman.
No, that's Three Doors Down.
That's not it. It's like
That's Kryptonite by 3 Doors Down. That's hilarious.
the one is like,
I can't stand to fly. I'm not that nice.
Yeah.
you know that one?
Yeah, that's a
I've
rough
never
song.
heard that one.
It's like at the end, it's like, it's not easy.
Yeah.
That one.
I like the one I
Yeah,
sang better.
yeah. Oh, yeah. 3 Doors Down is way better than that song. Yeah. But hey, great stuff to rally rally everybody after 9/11.
Yeah, that is Kryptonite.
You know, their lead singer just passed away.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yep. The Brad. Oh, what's his name? Brad something. 3 Doors Down. Yeah.
I saw them in
Brad
concert
Arnold.
a few like a year or so ago.
Yep. Yes. Sad stuff. I believe he had cancer. Let's see here. Doors Down. Yeah, 47 years old. That's tragic, man.
Yeah.
All right. It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Boy, we were covering some really sad stuff.
Man.
Oh, I thought the Gauntlet was going to be happy.
Yeah,
man.
Well, he brought up
the song.
3 Doors Down, basically, on accident.
Superman.
That's
I thought that's a
great
good song.
It is. It's a great song.
When I saw it, I was like, that's a good song. I hate this song.
There's another great Five for Fighting song. It's 100 Years.
Okay.
You've definitely heard it.
Do you like that previous song?
Yeah, the Superman song?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, 100 Years is a great song, too. It's the I'm 15 for a moment, caught in between 10 and 20.
Okay.
And I'm just
It's not
You don't
my-
like it. I
It's
get
not,
it.
it's not my,
That's
it's not
fine.
my music.
It's fine.
It's not my music. It hits my ear hole, and I don't like it. But you know what? A lot of people do, Marsh, including yourself. I think that's fantastic.
Well,
Don't knock it. Don't knock what people are into, Carey. Unless it's
not at
illegal.
all. Well,
Then knock it for sure and tell somebody.
Stay away.
Are the Seahawks flirting with danger offensively? Is Mike McDonald already getting a little cocky after one Super Bowl? That's next on 101 ESPN. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. So the Seahawks, coming off their Super Bowl victory, they lost Clint Kubiak, their offensive coordinator, who became the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. That was as expected. And they decided, the Seahawks that is, they decided that they were going to roll with somebody who had significantly less play calling experience than Clint Kubiak. They hired Brian Fleury as their offensive coordinator.
Theo's brother?
I don't think so.
Do you think he's related?
No.
What about Mark Andre?
Highly doubtful. No. Yeah. But maybe.
Cool.
Maybe, guys.
Cool.
Here's Mike McDonald via the Seahawks radio network or TV network on his new OC, having not called plays before.
Going into it, I do think it's a bit overrated. Somebody at some point, all play callers have to be first-time play callers at some point. You could tell how Brian thinks about the game. Look, you're gonna have to grow in any new role, but we have a lot of great people around here and a lot of great opportunities for him to get ready to go. And I'm really confident he's going to be off and running sooner than later. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be a fun process to build this thing.
All right, so again, that was Mike McDonald talking about his new offensive coordinator. Now, Carey, I have often heard you and Jamie, you specifically, preach about how, look, if you've never done it before, how the hell you expect me to get experience if you don't give me the opportunity? That's essentially what Mike McDonald's saying. But I will ask you this. Do you think that the first opportunity to call plays should be at the National Football League level?
I think that's difficult. No play calling experience, like not high school or college, or I understand if it's not at the NFL level, that's fine. But if you haven't ever called a play, there's a rhythm, kind of I don't know, it's like poetry almost in order to be able to call plays.
Okay, so this is Brian Fleury's his resume, okay? We'll get past the interim and the graduate assistant stuff. He was the Bills quality control coach in 2013. He was the assistant linebackers coach in 2014 for the Browns. He was the outside linebackers coach for the Browns. He was the defensive quality control coach for the 49ers. He was the he was the 49ers offensive quality control coach, their tight ends coach, their run game coordinator and tight ends coach, and now is the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. I don't see where he got experience calling plays.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult because I think being a head coach is difficult. I think, managing an entire game and the lead up to the game and all those things, I think all of those things are difficult, but never have called a play and understanding the nuances and the timing and the rhythm and you can simulate all of that in practice, but when you actually get to the game, I think the tempo and all of that kind of revs up a little bit. So if you have some issues where you have, not false starts, but delay of game penalties, or, you're not getting the play in time to your quarterback, that's all coming from a new coordinator that is probably having some bumps along the way. Will it be the detriment to the team? I don't think so, but I think that calling your first plays at the NFL level is going to be a little bit difficult.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the right move for the Seahawks coming off a Super Bowl win with the team that they have. I could understand if, the Miami Dolphins brought in a guy like that hadn't called plays before. Like they're not in a competitive window right now. But I look at the Seahawks, and when they brought Clint Kubiak in, we're talking about pass game coordinators and whatnot. He was the pass game coordinator for the 49ers in 2023, but then went to New Orleans for the Saints. He was the offensive coordinator for the Saints, a team that, wasn't competing, right? But then he's brought into the Seahawks, a team that is competing. They go and win a Super Bowl. So there's that experience there. I don't know if this is the right move for a team that just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's the key right there, right? Like if you're a first-time play caller for a bad team, a team that doesn't have high expectations, that might be one thing. You're taking over for a team that just won the Super Bowl, in which your quarterback, Sam Darnold, fit very well into a specific system. I'm assuming you'll have a lot of similar concepts now with Fleury. And look, you never know. But Mike, at some point, you do have to trust. And we can't keep calling Mike McDonald a genius and then question his hiring decisions.
For sure.
But this one does seem I think there's a healthy amount of skepticism here.
Well, look at what happened to the
Eagles. That is warranted. Yeah, absolutely.
The Eagles, what happened to their offense?
Yeah. Splashback Deuce says we wouldn't be questioning if it was me calling the plays, which I appreciate that. Splashback Deuce. Carey's seen my playbook.
I did. I showed you a play sheet yesterday that I think you started writing things down. I was like, Anthony, you don't need that for your. I had to hurry up and scroll away.
Think about different situations, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 1st and 2nd. Yeah. You got to have to play for everything, really.
Goal line, short yardage. I get it, man. You got to be prepared.
Yeah, you got to be ready.
Swan, who is a noted Seahawks fan, chimes in and says, I'm actually a fan of the hire. Hearing the guy talk, he seems like he is very much of the Clint Kubiak mindset, and said he may want to add on to that from things he learned in San Francisco. He does have a pretty diverse background in coaching.
Mm-hmm. He does. I actually think it. When I was listening, or not listening, when I was reading all of the different jobs that he has had along the way, Carey, I don't know how you feel about this, but I think it's highly beneficial when you've coached both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
I mean, to understand how you're going to attack an offense when you're a linebackers coach, and then you flip and you're the tight ends coach like Fleury was for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, of course, you're looking at how you want to attack a defense. I think having that broad perspective is really good.
I think it does matter. I think it does help because, like you said, how both sides are attacking one another. So it makes you, if you know how they're going to attack you, you know how to defend it. Mm-hmm. So I think that does help, and it is beneficial. I just do think that there's going to be, I think it was Mike Vrabel a couple of years ago when he was in Tennessee during one of the preseason games. He let the other assistant coaches do roles that they normally hadn't done, if I'm not mistaken. He let one of the coaches be the head coach for the game. He let one of the offensive assistants call the plays, let a defensive assistant call the plays, because that is on the job training as well. Mm-hmm. Like you're in an NFL game, the stakes aren't nearly as high, obviously, because it's a preseason game, but you're still getting some of that experience. I thought that was really cool of him to do that a few years ago. I wish more coaches would do something like that.
But see, weren't you also talking about one of the coaches, and maybe this was Vrabel, I'm doing the Jamie thing where I'm combining the story. Mm-hmm. Wasn't there another coach that you were talking about, maybe on the collegiate level, that welcomes in his defensive staff to like offensive meetings and things like that? Kind of expanding it?
Maybe. I don't remember that.
Maybe I was drunk.
But I got a lot of...
Was it Nick Saban?
I've gotten hit in the head a few times.
Maybe you were drunk.
Possibly.
Maybe we were both drunk. I just made it up.
Maybe.
It's a possibility.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Marsh, you were there. 101 ESPN is your shot to score a pair of tickets to see Zach Bryan on Saturday, March 7th at the Dome in America Center. Find all the ticket details and a bonus chance to win free tickets to Zach Bryan right now at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. It's all powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Guys, we need a good trivia question for the people today. What do we got for trivia?
Who was the team that Coach Bombay played for after he coached those District 5 Ducks? He went on to play pro hockey, not at the NHL level, but went on to play pro hockey for a team before he got injured. Who was that team?
Marsh told you.
Who did he play for?
Who did he play for? Marsh told you in that. That's a perfect trivia question. So if you know the answer, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646, and you'll have an opportunity to win those Zach Bryan tickets for March 7th at the Dome in America Center. And again, you can find a bonus chance to win on your 101 mobile app, all powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. I was reading through an article that was breaking down one of the teams in Major League Baseball and some of the concerns that they have heading into spring training. And this team specifically is one that a lot of people feel as though the Cardinals should model themselves after. Well, if you're going to model yourself after from a team building standpoint, is there some caution and some caution flags with this one team? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Earlier this morning, Team Canada took down Finland by a final score of 3-2. 3 unanswered goals by the Canadians. Nathan McKinnon scored in the final minute of the game to make it a 3-2 game. Jordan Binnington stopped 15 of 17, and Canada will play for a gold medal. They'll take on either the United States or Slovakia, and that game is about to wrap up here soon. So we'll see who will be playing on Sunday morning. If you have missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you will find all of our shows and all of our interviews there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. Jamie will be back with us on Monday. Guys, when we often talk about the Cardinals and how they approach like the roster building, who's the one team that we often cite almost immediately when it comes to like, hey, this is the team you should model yourself after?
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
Yep, that's the exception to the rule, always.
The Yankees.
No.
Mets.
No.
The Phillies.
Phillies.
Come on, man.
You want to spend money or not? Blue Jays.
The Houston Astros, Anthony.
Carey, you mention this team every...
The Atlanta Braves.
Thank you.
I got you. I saw the rundown.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's the Braves.
No,
Yeah, that's... Damn, now I know why BT was pissed at me. The Braves are always the example that people use. Talented team. The team that often signs their guys ahead of time. And if you can get future stars on unbelievable deals like the ones they did with Ozzie Albies and to a lesser extent Ronald Acuna, great, do it, right? But I was reading through kind of a spring training preview, so to speak, of the Braves. And the Braves are everybody's favorite to bounce back in 2026. Why wouldn't you, right? On paper, they look fantastic. It's a team that finished 4th at 76 and 86 last season.
Why would you want to model yourself after that team?
Typically you don't, and here's why. The bullpen routinely hemorrhaged leads. If you're going to win in the regular season, certainly you better have a good offense, one that's going to get you the lead. But if you can't protect it late in games, obviously that's no bueno. But the rotation also unraveled due to injuries. And unlike the Dodgers, everyone's exception, the Dodgers often had the depth to overcome it, whether they signed it in free agency or drafted and developed those guys. They always have a strong farm system. The Braves constantly deal with bad injury luck, especially down the season. And they're a team that will ruin a really good lineup because they don't have the pitching depth. So I appreciate the Cardinals going about it the way they have, where they are constantly adding pitching, and they're not going to stop. I saw that the top prospect from the Red Sox that they got, the pitcher, Clark, is already dealing with injuries. And while that's frustrating, that is a player that you took a chance on because he had Tommy John in 2019. And the Red Sox being where they're at, they're willing to part with that player because they don't have the runway to see him develop. Cardinals, different story. You take a shot on a player like that, even if he has the injury history, because you've got a little bit of time on your hands.
Yeah.
But the Cardinals didn't just stop there. This version of the front office didn't stop there. The previous one would have stopped.
Yeah.
Previous ones, we got it, check, moving on. But the Braves, I think, are a great example. Yes, it would be fantastic to build a roster like theirs, except for the pitching staff, because I don't think they have the depth to overcome the injuries, and they've proven it.
I think that the Dodgers' motto is we're going to have a lot of pitching, elite pitching. We're going to draft it. We're going to develop it. And then we're also going to go spend money on it as well. And the drafting and developing part of it is extremely important. Right? And I think the Cardinals are trending in that direction. I think you can do both, though. I think you can spend money on your younger players and lock them, into a contract for a number of years for the future. People get injured. Now, you don't, if you have a track record of a guy, Lars Newbar, for example, if you were to give Lars Newbar an extension and guarantee him money for the next 5 to 7 years, I would say that would be foolish because what he's shown you is a history of injuries. So that wouldn't be a guy that you would do that for. But if Mason Wynn has another good year and you say, you know what, I'm liking what I got. I'm going to avoid a few of these years of arbitration. We're going to give you some money now, Mason. Now, we ain't going to give you the money that you would probably get in the free market, in 4 or 5 years. But you can get paid now.
Yeah.
You want it now or you want to wait? Most of us want it now. So I think that the Cardinals could potentially do both. Now, they are doing the part where they're drafting and developing. Why am I having a problem saying developing?
It's been a long week, and it's a Friday.
Okay.
We've certainly talked a lot this week, and yeah, sometimes it's difficult to speak, even though it's our job.
Yeah. I think that they're doing that part correctly, and hopefully in years to come they'll come with the part where they pay some people and keep them around.
Absolutely.
And then maybe even, Anthony. Now,
what's that?
Maybe even spend money on a free agent, man.
Oh, I think they will.
Lots of money.
I think they will spend when the time is right.
There you go.
They ain't going to spend like the big market teams, but I think they're going to spend. I really do believe that. And I don't think I'm being naive when I say that. Right, Marshy?
I don't think you're being...
See?
That's all, folks. I don't believe you're being naive at all, Anthony.
Thank you.
Jeez.
What did you do to this guy?
I ain't do anything. I was having my own
We got that one text in the part 2 of the Sports Six Pack about our worst moments in life.
Yeah.
And we never recovered.
We haven't. We haven't recovered at all. There's some teams in baseball that don't recover, Anthony. When they
what is going on in sports? However,
why are you not watching the game?
He ain't up there. Maybe they're in the car. Maybe they're at work. Maybe they're taking their hard-earned time, risking, trouble at work listening to us. They ain't even supposed to be listening to us.
Have we gotten text messages, though, from people that say thank you?
Not today.
No.
Not today. Not today. Not today.
Not a one?
I haven't seen one.
Okay.
And I think it was one person that said it.
That was it?
Last time.
No.
I think so, man. I think it was like one guy. Oh, don't give me the updates. I'm going to watch it later. Turn your radio off. We're going to tell you right now.
All right. Do we want to do that then?
Should we count them down?
Yeah. Let's count them down from...
Why don't we count them down from 6?
Why don't we count them down from 69? What do you think?
69 is too... That's going to take too long.
That's a long time, man.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Your U.S. men's hockey team just annihilated Slovakia. 6-2 winners. They'll advance to the gold medal rounds to take on Team Canada and avenge their Four Nations loss from a year ago. Well, that's scary. Somebody just texted in.
Thank you. Only listening because you're not giving updates.
Oh. That's Carey's fault. That's Carey's fault.
Throw me under the bus.
I have held out all week.
Remember, I gave you a star for your discipline the other day.
Thank you.
And all it took was 2 seconds to ruin the week.
Well, Carey made me feel bad. He said, "There's only one person."
It was only one person because everyone else is saying thank you for the update. So, sorry, not sorry.
All right. Yeah, Jack Hughes scored twice as the U.S. wins 6-2, set up the gold medal matchup against Canada. And Jordan Binnington, who looked like
Jordan Binnington,
the problem for Team Canada earlier today when they were down 2-0. But he rallied, and so did Canada. And USA and Canada in the gold medal matchup on Sunday at 7:10 local time.
Anthony, there's probably some people.
A.M.
There you go.
There's some people that don't know when to turn the radio back on.
Oh, that's true, too. Yeah, that's a horrible way to do it. We just lost all those people because of Carey.
Well, we're good.
It's terrible, man.
Carey was on your shoulder.
He was.
He was on your shoulder.
He led
and
me down
said,
a bad path.
Do it, Anthony. Do it. And you're like, I'm going to do it.
Someone texted and have
like,
you stopped talking yet so I can listen?
What have I done?
Yeah, let's transition, okay?
Anthony, this is like when Anakin Skywalker was flirting between being a Jedi or ultimately becoming a Sith, a part of the Sith, a Sith Lord, and he takes out Mace Windu.
Mason Wind?
No, not Mason Wind.
What did Mason Wind do?
What did Mason Wind do? What did he do?
Mace Windu and his purple lightsaber cut his hand right off.
Wow. I just lost my hand because of Carey.
No. You cut off all the listeners' hands.
Oh, jeez.
And Carey took his force lightning and threw all of them off a building.
I don't know what's going on, but that sounds awful.
I didn't force anybody anywhere.
Yeah, you did. Anyways.
What?
Now, you've ruined the galaxy.
Hey, UCLA coach Mark Cronin said Friday he apologized to Steven Jamerson II for sending the center to the locker room in a late blowout loss at number 15 at Michigan State after he committed a hard foul. Even before the referees reviewed the play and assessed Jamerson with a flagrant foul. Cronin grabbed Jamerson's jersey and pointed for him to leave the court in the waning minutes of Tuesday's 23-point loss to the Spartans in East Lansing. Quote, I don't think, to be honest, the entire world has ever seen that in a game, Bruins guard Trent Perry said. I already apologized to Steve, okay? That's what Cronin told the reporters before UCLA's practice. It's the only reason I sent him to the locker room. I thought he literally made a dirty play and tried to wipe the guy out. Once I saw the film, he still got an F1, to be honest with you. I don't even know if he deserved that. Cronin said the Spartans coach Tom Izzo thought the same thing when I communicated with him. Cronin joked that Jamerson asked me for $10,000 more in NIL because of that. True as a joke there, Coach?
No, probably not. Did he apologize to the reporter?
No, he ain't gonna apologize.
That's who he should apologize to.
Yeah.
Are you talking? Are you raising your voice at me? I am. Now what? Yeah, Mick, I am. Hey. What are you going to do about it?
This is East Lansing, not that far from Detroit. So what do you want to do, Mick?
Yeah, I would have told
What do you want to do, Mick?
I did. Yeah, did you think I did? I did. If you think I did, then I did. Yeah. Now what? The hell you talking to? Chill, ass, boy.
Man. USA! 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 Good stuff. All right. Moving on. Will there ever be a Nick Saban again in college football? Marsh seems to think so.
Wow, hold on a second. I just posed the question.
We'll tell him why he's wrong next on 101 ESPN. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. So, Marsh, you had posed the question about whether or not we will see the next Nick Saban. And you had mentioned that Curt Cignetti gets a bump in pay today. And when we think about what Nick Saban was able to build at Alabama, is Cignetti the guy to recreate that at Indiana? Fascinating question. I would tend to say Nick Saban walked away in some part because he didn't want to deal with all the NIL and everything else going on in college football. Mm-hmm. So if Nick Saban himself can't do it, what makes us think that there's going to be a next Nick Saban? But boy, if anybody's going to do it, it'd probably be Cignetti. Wouldn't you think?
I don't think anybody's ever going to do it.
I don't either, but if there's going to be one. Play along, Carey.
You want me to tell the truth or you want me to...
No, I want the truth. The truth, yeah.
I don't think anybody's ever going to do what Nick Saban did.
I agree.
Especially in the landscape that we have now. Mm-hmm. Because college athletics have changed. Some Indiana University, if you just woke up from like a 6-month coma or 2-year coma, Indiana University won the national championship in football.
That's not true.
In case you were, under a rock.
I don't know where you're going to lie about things, but...
I wouldn't tell you a lie, man. So with that being said, Anthony, anybody can win.
Anybody? I don't think anybody can win.
Well, okay. Anybody in the Big Ten or the SEC.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you guys think that there's more parity right now? Yeah, I know parity. We need to do the numbers. It's become a buzzword here in the Fast Lane.
It's like runway.
Yeah, it's like runway. But given the parity in college football right now, do you think it's tougher to win like Nick Saban did?
Hell yeah, definitely.
I do too.
Because the players, you're no longer going to have 4 or 5 star backups like Alabama did. Alabama won because they had depth. Like if somebody went down, hell. National championship game, Jalen Hurts gets taken out, Tua Tagovailoa comes in and they win the game. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they had a backup to the caliber of Tua's level on this Alabama team.
Right.
So that's an example of,
the starter was at that level.
100%. So it's no longer going to be teams that can just stockpile talent in the way that they have in the past. Like Alabama did a really good job of it for a number of years, and so Georgia has done it as well. I think that you're starting to see some of these rosters thin out from having so much talent on them because you can go elsewhere and you can be paid. And a lot more players are trending towards the Big Ten, heading further north because the Big Ten has more opportunities to offer more money as well. So I think that the landscape has shifted so drastically that there will never be another Nick Saban-esque run in college athletics.
I agree. I think it's going to be incredibly difficult. If there was one coach, I do think that Cignetti has kind of the formula, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
Because really, Nick Saban had the formula. Belichick, despite what you say, he had the formula. The way and the manner that he was always ahead of where the league was going, that was one of his greatest attributes. Nick Saban, the way he recruited, the emphasis he had on certain aspects of the game, well, namely on the defensive side of the ball, he was constantly ahead of the curve, and he knew which players fit his system the best. And all the winning created, of course, that conveyor belt of prospects. Mm-hmm. I think Curt Cignetti does fall in the line of he knows what he's looking for his offense, and he can get away with bringing in some older players that may not have NFL that may not play in the NFL, mm-hmm. that may not be top prospects in the NFL when it's all said and done. But damn it, they fit well, and he can beat a lot of Big Ten teams.
I think you can. I think some of those guys do have NFL talent. They just were overlooked and not thought about as being I don't know if I've ever said this, but the stars ratings system is ridiculous, in my opinion, mm-hmm. because you get I've heard stories where coaches have called those rating systems, hey, man, he's a 3-star. Can you bump him up to a 4? Simple. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So we shouldn't watch that. We shouldn't look at those at all.
Hell no.
All right.
And Nick Saban, I'll give you another Nick Saban story, not one that Jamie told already.
Are you sure he'd probably do that?
He talks about how Damian Harris was a 4-star running back and Josh Jacobs was a 0-star running back. Both played at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs is a first-round running back still in the NFL. Damian Harris was a third-round running back, no longer in the NFL. And that lets you know that those rankings, you can't, it does not define that player. Now, you have coaches that lean solely on that because, hell, that is easy. It's an easy way to get their job done. But it also, like I just told you, if I recruit a 3-star, and it looks much better if he's a 4-star, doesn't it, Anthony?
Of course.
Wink,
yeah.
wink.
I see that wink.
Bump him up for me.
You got
no
it.
problem. So, same kid.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing changed. Somebody's opinion on him.
Right.
Or someone asked for an opinion to change. So, yeah, it's not as important, in my opinion, as some people would lean or think that it is in terms of this kid has this many stars, this kid doesn't.
Sure.
Indiana didn't have nearly the number of 4- and 5-star talent that most of these schools have, and they still were able to win the championship.
I'll rephrase it then. Kurt Cignetti, seemingly, based on the last 2 years and who he brought in from his previous stop, has a knack for finding those players that might be overlooked elsewhere.
100%.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which is not easy to. It's still not easy to win that way.
If you can play football, you can play football. Cody Schrader started at Truman.
Yeah.
And I should tell you to this day, that's the best running back performance I've ever seen from a running back. I think it was against Tennessee. Was it Tennessee a few years ago?
Yeah, it was Tennessee.
Man, the kid didn't come out the game, Anthony.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen that.
Yeah, backbone, man.
200 yards rushing. I think he had 50 or 60 yards receiving. Played every play.
Mm-hmm.
So where you are does not define where you should end up. The running back, I can't remember his name. He's from here.
Carey Davis?
No, not me. The Oregon running back that started in the game versus Indiana. Was it Jordan? What is his name?
The kid that got hurt? Yeah, it is Jordan.
Jordan?
Yes. Are you talking about the player that got hurt?
Did he get hurt? Yeah. No. The one that hadn't played all year and was playing. That's bad. I can't remember.
I don't know.
But either way, he started at
Jordan Davison.
No.
From Oregon?
Is that him? Is that who I'm thinking about? Is he from St. Louis?
He's not from here. No, he's from California.
That's not who I'm thinking about then.
Okay. But there is a Jordan Davison who got hurt.
Yeah, not him.
Which is why you were leading me down that line.
I apologize. I'll bring you back.
No, Belleville. Hill.
Yeah, no, not Deer Hill.
Okay,
it's another one.
Jeez, he's from Hill too. And he's from Oregon.
Come on, man. We'll figure it out. But either way, another one. He's at Kansas State now. But he's another one that went to a smaller school. Oregon signed him. Played really well in the national championship game, but he was 4th or 5th on the depth chart. Jay Harris. There you go. Him. Yeah.
Jay Harris.
Yeah.
It's Jay Harris.
Thank you, Anthony.
You're welcome.
Good job.
Anthony had 35 yards on 16 carries against Indiana in that college football semifinal.
How many catches did he have? He had some yardage in the receiving
How many
game,
catches did he have? Carey had 3 receptions for 32 yards.
Made himself some money, Anthony. He's 5th on the depth chart. 4th or 5th. So, doesn't always define how good a player is.
Very true.
Just saying.
All right. It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. Glad we all got that figured out for you, Carey.
Thank you.
Glad we could help. Biggest question of the day is next on 101 ESPN. I love Mosby Building Arts. I love the fact that everybody is in-house when it comes to their electricians and their designers. They've got a team of people that work all under one roof, so that when you want to start your projects, you want a home remodel, you want to redo your kitchen, you want to redo your basement, you want to, I don't know, maybe upgrade the look and feel of, from windows and doors, you have your own team that works on your project. And when everything, if you're doing a kitchen, they'll wait until everything comes in-house in terms of the products and everything that they have, the materials, and then they'll start their project. And then that way they can guarantee you that they won't run into a bunch of issues like you might be working with a different contractor. We've all had those bad remodeling jobs where you hire one guy thinking, okay, well, you're good. You got a contractor that you feel confident in, and then that contractor all of a sudden starts another job because maybe they got a different bid and now they're stretched too thin, and then your project gets delayed. Not with Mosby Building Arts. They are the right remodeling company, because when they are dedicated to a project, they're dedicated to your project. You'll have your own special team, and they'll even constantly check in with you to make sure that everything's running smoothly. If you have any questions, or maybe you have some last minute changes, you can work with them, and it's not a big hassle when it comes to getting somebody on the phone with them. So if you're watching the Winter Olympics right now and you're looking around and you're like, man, this watch party's fun, but we're a little cramped in this family room. Maybe we can maximize the space. Give my friends at Mosby Building Arts a call, or you can visit them online. CallMosby.com is the website. Again, CallMosby.com. You can set up a free brainstorming session. They're the best. It's Mosby Building Arts.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day. Presented by Banner Construction, the experts in James Hardy siding.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN 503. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Time for the biggest question of the day. What do you got, Marsh?
All right. Which member of the Cardinals organization will or could get back into the good graces of the fan base after this season is wrapped up? This could be a player. It could be a manager. It could be a front office member. Who do you believe that to be?
Okay, so let's eliminate the easiest option, which is Oli Marmol, because short of winning the World Series, in some fans' eyes, Oli will never be those Cardinals fans' manager. Just won't.
You don't think so?
No. Save for, again, winning at the ultimate level.
Yeah.
So let's just eliminate him.
Okay.
Let me counter your question with another question. Who right now is in the doghouse the most among fans for Cardinals players?
Players.
Who would you think? Yeah.
What player is in the doghouse?
Maybe doghouse isn't the right word. Who's a lightning rod for Well, he's not a Cardinal anymore.
He's still hated by most.
No, he's not. I don't think he was ever hated.
He's not hated.
I think so.
No.
Okay. I don't think there's a Cardinal. Okay, you know what?
Hated? No, I think people were just ready to move on.
And they hated his ass for staying in the way.
That's a strong word.
Who's the current Cardinals? Who's the biggest lightning rod for criticism?
Player-wise, Jordan Walker.
Okay.
Nolan Gorman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andre Palante.
I don't think Andre gets...
Oh, you got to look at the internet.
You got to go on the line.
Lars Newbar?
Lars Newbar?
I feel like people... I feel like
turned the corner on him?
I feel like people are more annoyed with Lars than like... Gorman's the name I thought of first.
Yeah.
So from there, the question is, which Cardinal player by the end of the year will endear themselves more to Cardinals fans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of get back into the
good graces?
The good graces of the fan base. Wow. The BFIB.
It would be Jordan Walker. Him or Nolan Gorman are probably the best two answers for who's most disliked right now.
Yeah. But okay, which of those players do you think endears themselves the most to the fan base by the end of the year? Because I think I'll keep saying what I have been saying. Nolan Gorman is who he is. So if you don't think that Nolan Gorman can play, unless he winds up being a really good defender, which is a stretch, I think you're always going to be ticked off at him. Like if you don't accept Nolan Gorman for who he is as a hitter specifically, then you're not going to be satisfied.
Right.
So I think Jordan Walker has the biggest and best opportunity to change minds among the Cardinals fans. So I'll go Jordan Walker. Now, do I think he'll do it? I don't know.
You don't believe so? Or you just don't know?
I just don't know. How about this? Can I give you another name? And I don't think he's necessarily a lightning rod for criticism.
I have a name in mind. Should we say it at the same time?
Yeah, this is dangerous.
Could be. 3, 2, 1.
Victor Scott.
I was going to say Matthew Liberatore.
I was going to say Victor Scott, and I did. Yeah, no, I think it's Victor Scott. Now, I don't think he's a lightning for criticism.
Much like I didn't think my player was either, but I have the old trade in mind.
Sure.
Still.
And with Victor Scott, if he becomes a decent, let's just say he's an average offensive player, somebody that gets on base at a more consistent rate, and puts that speed, you already know he's a beloved defensive player.
Agreed.
So I think Victor Scott is one of those players that, while not starting from the same point as Gorman and Walker in terms of skepticism among the Cardinals fan base, I still think that Victor Scott could endear himself even more to portions of the fan base that are like, good defense, no stick.
They could come around to it.
Yeah.
I can see that. I think I can see that. I think Ivan Herrera would be on. He's not hated, but he could really become beloved more, depending on how well he performs. I think there's an expectation of him hitting 25 home runs. If he hits 35, watch out. You know what I mean?
Who's that? Gorman?
Ivan Herrera.
Oh, Herrera.
I don't think I think maybe from a defensive standpoint, people might think like, it's a little ugly there.
Well, he's not playing defense, Marshy.
Well, I know. That's
DH,
my point. If
you don't have to.
I think people love Ivan Herrera. I certainly do. He made me look like a genius 2 years ago.
This is true.
What are your thoughts on Liberatore?
I'm just going back to the trade. You know, this past year we saw him in that starting role, and I thought he did pretty well. There were times throughout the year, though, where you could tell he was getting tired, and so they limited his innings. And there were some outings where you're like, oh, God, that doesn't look that great. But now he's coming into another year, and maybe people start to feel comfortable with how that trade went down and start to believe, okay, maybe we did end up getting the better end of this deal. It's not like Randy Arozarena won the World Series.
Yeah.
He did really well, and the Rays got to that point, but they didn't win. Maybe there's some people out there that think they'll forever have lost the trade. I don't know. But maybe this year he can prove something where people start to think, I feel a lot better about what went down a few years ago. That's just what I'm thinking. If we're throwing names out there.
I think people are comfortable with who they believe Liberatore is now in comparison to a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think your expectation, he's somewhere between a 2 and a 4. And he's probably a 3. And I think people are okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody is delusional or frustrated or bothered. And the way that Randy Arozarena's career has, when he's the ALCS MVP, you're like, oh my God, what are we doing here? But now you're looking at it, you're like, okay. You got a solid pitcher in place of a solid player. Okay. I think people accept it. I don't think everybody's angry anymore.
No, I don't think so either. If he could just be a solid starter for you, like you outlined, CD, I agree with that. Are we missing anybody?
Well, I threw out Andre Palante. We had someone text in saying that he's not really a factor because of the expectations. I understand that.
Yeah, they're right. I think the texter is right because the expectation so far for Andre Palante is you will be replaced. It's just it's not a matter of if, but when. Right? I think that's fair. I think Palante's best chance beyond this season to stick with the Cardinals is probably as a reliever. I don't think if you can't replace Andre Palante in the starting rotation, then we don't have the right guy in Chaim Bloom.
Do you think
too harsh?
For Andre's sake, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
So if he's listening, I heard his feelings.
That was. Do you
want me to tell the truth?
That was harsh, man.
Carey, you asked me the same thing a couple of minutes ago. You don't want me to speak the truth to you?
No, I do.
Okay. And that's the truth.
Do you think ownership can change people's minds after this season? If Bloom is if we see a lot of progress from these guys throughout the season, and we come to the conclusion, man, hiring Chaim Bloom was the right move. I see the future. I see the vision. Do people start to look at ownership a little bit differently?
I don't mean to be disrespectful when I say this, okay? But when it comes to people that have
that's usually what somebody's going to say right before they do.
I'm totally going to shred you. The good news is, I'll give you, CD's right, I'm about to shred somebody. But the good news is these people won't believe it's them, so they'll be like, oh yeah, no problem.
Damn.
Yeah, it just happened. Some Cardinals fans that have big picture perspective and are okay with the current state because they know there's an end to a means to an end. Excuse me, I flipped that. There's a means to an end. Their minds might be changed. Like, hey, we got the right guy in place. Ownership did a good job. It took a while,
right?
But they finally moved forward, and they've got the right guy in place. So for some Cardinals fans, I would say yes. For those Cardinals fans that equate spending to the team trying, the answer is no. Because, of course, they're not going to spend.
Right.
There's a large contingency among these fans that feel as though the only way the owners are trying is when they spend.
Agreed.
Now, I don't agree with that because it's really about spending wisely, not just about spending. But to some fans, they're going to be upset still. And therefore, Marsh, to your question about whether or not ownership can change the minds of those fans, I say no. And even when they do start spending, it'd be like, it's not enough.
Yeah, there'll always be
more.
Something.
Yeah. People always want more. Okay, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, winding things down here over the next 45 minutes. Could these NBA tanking rules, and by these, Marsh will outline them, can these tanking rules be implemented in other sports? That's next on 101 ESPN. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. Marsh, you were looking at some different NBA tanking rules that were suggested, and you thought, well, hey, maybe we could do this for other sports too.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting that we do, but I'm just interested to see what you guys think of what the NBA, like the proposed tanking rules, what you think about them. And Shams, so Shams, so this is what he tweeted yesterday. Commissioner Adam Silver informed the league's 30 general managers Thursday that the NBA plans to make anti-tanking rule changes for next season. Sources tell ESPN stakeholders have intensified dialogue about combating tanking. And he wrote an article on ESPN.com sort of highlighting all these things. So I'm going to go over them and we'll just share our thoughts. So this is what was discussed. First-round draft picks can be protected only for top 4 or top 14 plus selections. Lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or later date, no longer allowing a team to pick in the top 4 in consecutive years and or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. Teams cannot pick in the top 4 the year after making the conference finals. Lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams and flatten odds for all lottery teams.
Okay.
We may need to break this down.
So the flattening the odds for all lottery teams, normally the lower seeded you are, the more percentages you have, the higher percentage you have to get the first overall pick. So if you're making all of the odds for those top 15 teams or whatever the case may be, you're giving everybody in that range the same opportunity. It sounds like that's what they're talking about, to potentially get the number 1 pick, which does have value. I think that holds value because now you're actually, there's no reason or nothing good comes from tanking to try to get to be the worst team in the league, to have the highest odds to get the number 1 overall pick. So that I actually do, I do agree with. Teams can't pick top 4 the year after making the conference finals. Okay. What if I don't know how the trades, like if you traded a pick and the value of that pick is a top 4 pick, I don't know how that would work. But
yeah, that's true.
I could see that as not an issue unless you have a pick that you traded for that equates a top 4 pick. Now, what the hell are you telling me? It's no longer a top 4 pick because what? Man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Some of these I would have to get more clarification on and more information on. But the flatten the odds for the lottery teams, I think that in itself would eliminate some of the tanking at the worst level for the worst teams in the league.
So let's stick with the conference final scenario. And the question that I asked was, could this work in other sports? Imagine if the Blues, the run that they went on last year, they make it to the conference final, right? And then this season happens. They're not getting a top 4 pick.
Yeah, no.
Like, you go on a hot run, you're a hot team, you make it to the conference final, but then maybe you're not one of those premier teams. You just got hot at the right time. You're a lower seeded team. You got hot, you made it to the conference final.
Sure.
And then the next year, maybe you
deal with an injury.
Yeah. You don't sign somebody, and the next thing you know, you're out of a top 4 pick. I don't like that.
This just dawned on me. We've been talking a lot about tanking and how do you fix it and all that stuff, and we've even gotten the other side of it where somebody like Mark Cuban says, you know what, tanking's not that big of a deal. Or he didn't say it that way. He was saying that's how you get better as a franchise, and fans come to respect that. Is it that big of a deal? Like, really? Yeah. Is it that big of a deal?
It's so for me, again, I am a fan of basketball, right? And I think tanking is the exact opposite. We had the conversation yesterday about competition. And do teams or do players value competition in the way that they did in the 80s? And again, people say you're nostalgic about the 80s and the 90s, but I know people played, and they played hard. And they weren't making nearly as much money as they are making now, where guys are making $40, $50, $60, $70 million a year, right? So I think that the tanking part of it takes away from the integrity of the game. And then you also have, and people probably, betting is a huge thing. Like, a lot of people gamble on these games, and I do not believe, because there are some idiots, and I will call you an idiot if you go up to a professional athlete and tell him he blew your parlay. You, sir, ma'am, are an idiot, and what happens to you after that?
Don't gamble if you're
don't
willing to do that, because you're not.
You are a flat out imbecile. But other than that, like, the aspect and the integrity of the game in terms of who's playing tonight. I flew in from wherever to watch my favorite player play, and oh my God, I just paid $2,500 for tickets and flights and hotels.
That's load management. I'm talking about tanking.
But that's part of it as well. Like, you have guys that are sitting guys out.
But if your favorite player is Michael Jordan, you probably, you know what I mean?
It depends on who your favorite player is.
But
you could be a fan of the Utah Jazz, and your favorite player for the Jazz decides, the ownership says that we're going to sit out tonight.
Sure.
So for me, the integrity, the integrity part of it, and just not. It's not a good look. Mm-hmm. Like, there's never a good look where, and it's not the athletes, in my opinion, that are the ones that are saying, hey, I'm tanking tonight. I ain't going to play. It's the ownership. It's the front office. It's the people that see the value of getting a higher draft pick. Because if I'm being honest, as a player, why in the hell would I sit down so you can draft someone to take my damn job?
Right. That's
no, thank you.
Yeah, I think we think that all these teams are so smart. They're tanking, and really they're just bad. They're just a bad team. That's why I posed the question.
How do you decipher a team that is tanking versus a team, as we call it, the organic tank? How do you decipher between the two?
You're not sitting people down.
Okay, but here's my question then. What the Cardinals are doing is called a rebuild. Aren't they tanking?
I don't think they're tanking, because I think they aren't. To me, tanking is, I'm not going to play my best players in this specific game or in this stretch of games.
What if you trade your best players?
Well, you got other players that got an opportunity.
I'm just saying. I think we're.
If you do it that way, I don't consider that tanking. To me, tanking is, because that's you're putting that on the players. If the players aren't good enough, that's an indictment on them. You either are better, or we bring people in that are better than you, and you no longer have a job. So as a player, I'm never considering this a tanking season, because my ass might not have a job next year if I don't play well enough. So from a player standpoint, I can't consider that tanking. Now, if you are the Raiders and you sit out your best player for the last game of the year because your ankle's hurt, right, Max? It looks like it. It looks swollen. No, it's fine. I'm playing basketball. It's hurt. Because I want to get this first overall draft pick, because I know there aren't any quarterbacks if I miss out on this guy. Mm-hmm. That is tanking. But if I have the players that are playing, this is my opinion. People can view it how they want to. Mm-hmm. But I view it as, if I have players that are playing every single day, if they just not good enough, they're not good enough. And if that equals to me getting a better player in the draft because y'all ass stink, cool. I'm gonna get somebody that can replace your ass and play him in front of you. And that's on you. That ain't on me. But if I say, you know what, you are a really good player, you're going to sit down today. You're gonna watch this game. Because I don't want you playing, because you can change the outcome of this game so much that we might actually win.
What if the Raiders trade Max Crosby? Are they now tanking for next year?
I think they would still be considered tanking.
Because you just traded away your best player.
My question
what did you get back?
That's true too. That you have to take that into consideration.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to speak for like it just dawned on me that I don't know if this is as big of a deal as I maybe even thought initially. If the Raiders play Max Crosby, they could still lose. If not, as a fan, I want them to do that. I want the number 1 overall pick. I want a chance to change the direction of my franchise. So who are we really hurting here? And I don't know can't remember who the Raiders played in their final game. Was it I think they won. Didn't they beat the Chiefs, or was that the previous week?
The year before.
The week before?
The year before.
Well, no, they beat the Chiefs too, I thought.
I think that was the 2 weeks.
2 weeks prior?
The 2 weeks prior.
Well, if only we had Google in front of us.
I'm pretty sure they played another AFC opponent, so it probably would have been the Chargers.
Was it okay.
I think it was the Chargers, because the Chiefs played the Broncos, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe
you're probably right. Let's see here. NFL schedule. No, they beat the Chiefs week 18.
Oh, it was the Chiefs.
You know all things.
Come on, Anthony. I can't
So
believe
they still got the
wrong on
number
that
one. They still got the number one pick. They still won. They still got the number one overall pick, right? So who's that really? Who? Raiders and Chiefs in that situation probably not hurting anybody. So I don't know. Load management I think is a bigger deal than tanking.
Yeah.
I don't mind the idea of looking at 2-year records. I think you can get a better understanding of, okay, where is this franchise going, right? Instead of a team who is like, we're just going to stink for this one season because we want that guy, and then we're going to be good again.
Right.
You know? But again, that goes into how do you know what a team's ultimate goal is unless you're asking those people that very question.
Right. Yeah, you don't. You're just going off of what
Assumptions.
Assumptions and into like what you project them to be doing. All right. Carey, see you, pal. Carey's off a little earlier tonight. We will have Bet the Board for you next here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We have a matchup for Sunday, the gold medal game. If you don't want to know who's playing in it, shut your ears off. But the United States will take on Canada for gold on Sunday. Earlier today, Canada defeated Finland by a final score of 3-2. Jordan Binnington, he ended up stopping 15 of 17 shots in the Canada win, and the United States took down Slovakia. They thumped Slovakia 6-2 in that one. So we'll have the United States taking on Canada for gold on Sunday. We talked earlier today with Jeremy Rutherford. If you missed that conversation, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We're going to bet the board next, right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Time to play Bet the Board. Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. We got Carey and Jamie. That Jamie's still on vacation. Carey just had to take off. He's traveling. So, Marsh, how did we do last night?
None of us did well, Anthony.
Ah, jeez.
You didn't do well. I didn't do well. Jamie, I don't know. He picked Finland.
Yeah, why?
They almost won. They're up 2-0.
Well, maybe he had a hunch.
Carey did pretty well last night with the Pistons.
Good for him.
They covered. Carey is on a heater right now. He is 3 for 3 in his last 3. Jamie hasn't hit a pick since February 12th. Anthony, you haven't hit a pick since the 16th.
Wow.
And I have not hit a pick since the 12th.
Jeez.
So, I'm doing really bad. So is Jamie.
We're struggling, man.
We are. Carey's in the lead, though.
Okay. Carey left us his pick before he left us, and he is going with the Nuggets tonight, plus 3.5 on the alt line at minus 144. So he's got the Denver Nuggets plus 3.5. Jamie, let's scroll through all my text here. He wants the Pacers on the money line. Now, that was at like 6 a.m., so let's see if that still holds up, shall we?
Why don't we take a look? They're playing the Wizards, 2 terrible teams. Pacers are plus 102 on the money line.
Okay, so he's all right there. He's set. Marsh, is it me or you?
You can go. Well, actually, let me throw this out here.
Sure.
For the listeners, I want to sort of get their take on what I might do for my pick. So I've lost 5 in a row. I'm flirting with the idea of taking Canada on the money line on Sunday, minus 125, because I have been so bad.
So you're looking for the reverse curse.
The reverse curse.
You're trying to help out the USA men's hockey team by putting your bad juju all over those Canadians. Do I have that correct?
That is correct, Anthony. So I want to throw that out there for the listeners. We'll see what they say, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, then I'll go so that we'll give people an opportunity to respond. So again, Marsh is asking you if you would like him to curse Team Canada. If so, text in to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Marsh is trying to curse Team Canada by picking them on Sunday because he's been on a bit of a cold streak. I hope that I'm not going to curse our local basketball team here by taking them tonight, but give me SLU, and let me get the best line possible here. I was going to just take the regular line, but why do that? So SLU's minus 7.5, but I can get them on the alt line for, let's see, 6.5. 6.5. Give me SLU minus 6.5, please, on the alt line as they take on VCU. I think they rebound tonight, literally and figuratively. So have the people spoken, Marsh? We have some thoughts coming in.
Yeah, so Curb Stomp says, come on, Marshy, represent me. I do believe Curb Stomp is my person this month. I don't want to lose for Curb Stomp. I don't even want to even think about doing that. We have the 618 that says, no, stay away from that game, please. That is a great line of thinking. 314 says he's just trying to get a W with an excuse to bet on Canada. You guys reverse curse never works. Tim's offshore bookie, don't do it, Marsh. The reverse juju never works. It always backfires.
Okay.
However, Grant Francis Fan Club says, Marsh, I trust your judgment. Here we go. 314. I've played roulette before and rode the red train before. I've lost hundreds of dollars making that bet. Don't pick Canada. I'm going to go ahead and pick an NBA game.
Wow. Okay. Well, you know what? You reached out.
I'm going to pick an NBA game.
And the people responded.
They did. That's what I wanted to... Actually, kind of do... why don't we do this? No, I don't want to.
You're going to go with some sort of compromise.
No, I'm not. I'm going to stick with the NBA. Let me look at some player combos. I like Anthony Edwards. Why don't we do Anthony Edwards, 39-plus rebounds and assists. Points, rebounds, assists for Anthony Edwards, 39-plus at -115.
Okay. Feel good about that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, he's a good basketball player.
Okay, so you feel good essentially about not going with the Team Canada, Team USA.
I don't want to ruffle any feathers, Anthony.
What do you think about that game, though?
I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. The other pick that I was maybe flirting with was the over, which is 5.5. It's plus odds. But the more I thought about it, I think it's going to be a tight game, maybe like a 3-2 game at best, and that's under 5.5. So,
okay,
I'm going to stay away from that game completely and just root on the red, white, and blue.
Could you see both goaltenders having issues, though? I mean, I know you just said you're going to take the under, but could you, given Jordan Binnington's struggles this season and Connor Hellebuck's at times his lackluster play, especially when he gives up like a goal or two early? Could you see this being more of a shootout?
I don't know. I go back to the Four Nations face-off last year, and it was a 3-2 final in overtime. You know, we could have went into that game in particular with the same line of thinking, and we had a pretty tight game. So I think it's going to be a tight game. I don't see any of the teams blowing each other out by any means. And I don't know if the goaltenders giving up a ton of goals necessarily makes it fun.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it'd be fun?
Absolutely. As long as the game's close.
Yeah.
Whether you get a defensive struggle and it's close or an offensive explosion and it's close, as long as it's close. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, do I appreciate a well-played hockey game defensively and with, a 3-2 final, something like that? Yeah, of course. But I can find joy in all sorts of games, Marsh. I'm just glad that you threw it out to the people and they responded.
I'm nervous. I'm not going to lie.
You're nervous about your NBA play?
No, I don't care about that.
Got it.
No,
come on, man.
Let me take that back. I care a lot about the NBA play.
There you go.
I'm nervous for the gold medal game.
People are counting on you, Marsh. One person specifically.
No, I know. All right. I know. I feel bad that I said that.
No, you're fine. You didn't mean it. All right. Waterboy says 28-3, find joy. No. Well, actually, you know what? I did.
For about three quarters. 3 and some change.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Actually, it was about 2.5. I started, once the Matt Ryan fumble happened, I started to realize this could go sideways in a hurry.
I was just going to ask you, at what point were you like, oh no? Was it the fumble?
The fumble, I started to get nervous. So Devontae Freeman completely whiffed on a block of Deontay Hightower, and he crushed Ryan, and he fumbled. And the Patriots scored right after that. So that was when I got concerned. I knew they were going to lose after Julian Edelman caught that pass.
Okay.
Because that should have been an interception.
Yes.
And if it was picked off, that was Robert Alford. He was the one that went up.
Yeah, it went through his hands.
It went through his hands. Alford was the one who had the pick six earlier in the game. So he may have been the MVP of that game had he secured that interception. But when Edelman caught the pass, I knew they were going to lose. I had seen that movie too many times before, Marsh. All right, we will wrap up the show next. We'll find out what everybody learned today, or just Marsh and I, and maybe do some criticism, some compliments, as well as 3 stars of the day. You want to read it now? Or
yeah, why not? No, I'll read it. From the 618, how many times do we have to hear about the Pats-Falcons Super Bowl? My God.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it ever again.
I know you would love that.
I would love that. JR brought it up today, unprovoked. So
he did.
I'm with you, Texter.
And the Snake Pit just brought it up.
And the Snake Pit just brought it up. If it was up to me, I would never bring it up.
The 618 just brought it up, too.
The 618 just brought it up.
We're about to go to break.
You're part of the problem, 618. Now I'm pissed on a Friday. All right, we'll wrap up the show next on 101 ESPN. Hey, head out to Auto Centers Nissan this week because, well, we have great offers going on when it comes to finding your next new ride. Whether it's a new vehicle that you're looking at or a pre-owned vehicle, Auto Centers Nissan has over 1,000 new and used vehicles, all in one massive location, right off I-55 in Herculaneum, just minutes from South County. Offers are aggressive. It's one of the best buying windows that you're going to find at Auto Centers Nissan. They're offering deep price cuts across the entire new Nissan lineup, again, making this one of the strongest buying windows of the year. But all the deals end at the end of February. And as we know, this is a short month. So if you're heading out there, head out there to Auto Centers Nissan or start at autocentersnissan.com. You can take a look at what they have and then, of course, test drive the vehicles once you do get to the dealership. But the same vehicles that you find online will also be there at the dealership. It's one of the reasons I love shopping with Auto Centers Nissan, because if you've ever been in a dealership before, you've been by, if you search for a car for yourself or somebody in your family, and you go out to the dealership and say, hey, you had this offer online or this make or model online, and they're like, yeah, you know what, actually, we don't have that car in right now, but we've got something else. There's no bait and switch when it comes to Auto Centers Nissan. If you're shopping used, select pre-owned vehicles qualify for 0 down and no payments for 3 months. On select new Nissan models, get 0 payments for 6 months, 0 money down, and 0% APR for 60 months. Check them out again online at autocentersnissan.com. When you head out to Auto Centers Nissan in Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. Anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast, available at 101ESPN.com or via the 101 app, powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Podcast brought to you by Shaver Door Company. All right, Marsh, what'd you learn today?
Wow, I learned that people just don't want to hear about the Falcons Super
Okay, what?
Bowl.
You just brought it up again.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I almost feel like you did that on purpose now, man.
No, I didn't. It's just what I learned.
Jeez.
And then that last segment was a dead segment, apparently.
Hey, guess what? Not a lot going on, okay? We're doing the best we can.
We're just talking.
We're just talking, man. Got time to fill. Sometimes it's going to be good, sometimes it's going to be terrible. What can I tell you?
I think we should break down spring training in these final few minutes. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, let me just research what happened. thing I learned today is that Carey will really lead you into some bad advice. All week I held strong on not giving out any U.S. men's hockey updates. And he shamed me into giving out the final score today. And just as I did, even though we gave the, hey, turn your radio down, 3, 2, 1, if you don't want to hear the score. As soon as I did, Carey read off a text message that came through thanking us for not giving out any scores. And you know what I felt, Marsh?
What'd you feel, Anthony?
Dead inside.
Did you?
Because I ruined that person's day.
Man.
And all because of Carey.
It was Carey's fault.
We didn't have to give out the score.
No, we did not.
By the way, 6-2 today. 6-2 today set it up for the gold medal matchup against Canada, 7:15 Sunday a.m. You getting up, Marsh? You going to bed early that night on Saturday night?
Anthony, I will be up. There is no promise that I will go to bed early, though.
Okay.
No promise at all.
Do you think that you'll go to bed at all?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So wake up groggy. I understand it.
Yes.
All right, Marsh, you want to go criticisms, compliments? You want to go 3 stars of the day? Dealer's choice.
Why don't we do some criticisms and compliments? I just read off one criticism, but let's go to some compliments from the 314. Great show today, boys. USA. USA.
USA.
Well, there's only 2 USAs in this text.
Well, you got to always say 3.
Well, this person only texted 2.
Oh, okay.
CD is a potty mouth, by the way.
Yeah, he is. He totally is a potty mouth. Yep. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I agree. I absolutely agree.
From the 314, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Fast Lane, whoever said it was a dead segment, fellas.
Well done. Well done, Texter.
Curb Stomp says, another banger of a week, gentlemen. I believe in you, Marshy, but please don't make this an organic tank for Bet the Board. Go USA.
Good call on that. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that, Marsh.
This one comes from Swan. Great show today, guys. Stalter, me and you are on 2 different wavelengths today on the SLU VCU game. In the month of February, according to T-Rank analytics site like KenPom, VCU is the 24th team in the country with an adjusted offense of 61st and adjusted defense of 30. And 5-0, whereas SLU is 3-1 and ranked as the 71st team in the country with an adjusted offense of 94th and an adjusted defense of 87.
Hey. Good breakdown there. Good stats. I hope you're wrong. Hope SLU comes out. Better effort tonight. I don't even say better effort. Just protect the ball. That's a team that has thrived on making sure that they don't turn the ball over consistently. And they had 18 turnovers against Rhode Island the other night?
Too many, Anthony.
They value possessions. So I don't know. The back at Chaffetz seems like a big number. That's also one of the reasons why I took SLU.
From the 309, is it that big of a deal to know the outcome before watching the game? If you're a fan of the sport, it should not matter. I get off at 10 p.m., so I never watch a game live unless it's on the weekends. It does not bother me to watch even if I know the outcome.
Yeah, but I mean, no, it's not that big of a deal. But at the same time, you lose the energy and the suspense of it all. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
All right, you ready for the 3 stars?
Yes, sir.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 stars of the day, presented by Circus Sports. No bet fees ever with the world's largest sports book, now at your fingertips in Illinois and Missouri.
All right, we have a theme for today's 3 stars. It is favorite words or phrases of the week. And our 3rd star of the day goes out to, as a whole, Jamie.
Yeah, well done.
Our 2nd star of the day goes out to the word tanking. And our 1st star of the day goes out to the word parody.
Yeah. Nice job. Nice job. Yeah, I'll run through some of our lineup for this weekend. We got St. John's and Creighton basketball. Pregame at 10:30 a.m. Tip-off at 11 a.m. tomorrow. We've got Houston and Arizona. Man, that should be a good college basketball matchup. 1:45 for that one and a tip-off at 2. And to round out the triple header in basketball, Knicks Rockets pregame at 7. Tip-off at 7:30. That's all tomorrow. On Sunday, we've got Warriors and Nuggets pregame at 2 o'clock, tip-off at 2:30. Hope everybody enjoys their weekend. I know I'll be locked into that USA-Canada matchup. Jamie will be back with us on Monday. Carey, of course, will be back with us as well, I think. Honestly, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say, but I believe he's on the show Monday.
We hope that Jamie's on the show Monday, too.
Why would he not?
Well, maybe he booked another day for Mexico.
Well, don't be a jerk. Jamie, come back and work for once. You know what I mean? Come back and work. Next week, we'll dive into some more spring training storylines for the Cardinals, and Blues get back at it as well. So a lot of local angles for next week. And we draw closer and closer to the conference basketball tournaments as well as the NCAA tournament. So a lot coming up. We'll piece things together here in the Fast Lane. We always do, Marsh.
Yes, we
always do. All right. For our guy, Jamie Rivers, wrapping up a vacation. For Carey Davis, who hit the road a little earlier today. For Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Have a great weekend. See you.